Go share the broadcast. And I'm going to go ahead and start this little intro. I actually feel like I'm gonna do that one more time and give everybody a chance to go ahead and share it. So go ahead and share it. I'll do that one more time. All right. This is weekly updates number 18. So we've been doing this for a couple of weeks, and we fucked up the count at some messages. Trying to take on the whole potty mouth situation. Definitely messed up at some point. So this is 18. We got a couple of me going through the list real quick, as people can see at the bottom. First thing we're going to talk about actually is going to be our outside comedy show, but just so people know what we're talking about tonight, Offseason, J. Cole's album, which I didn't get a chance to listen to, but I know at least I and Alex did. Bruce, did you check that out yet?
Yeah, I listened to the songs that was available on YouTube, and definitely each one of them bitches smacked.
Okay, so hold on, we're not even gonna get into it yet. I'm just talking about what we're gonna talk about. Good thing Bruce hopped on, because I definitely don't know shit about how they've now changed the playoffs and shit. So I want to get into what these changes are. It's like a play-in tournament now, from my understanding. We're gonna talk about that. We gotta talk about this Joe Budden debacle, this whole situation. He got a whole lot of weird shit going on. Of course, my wife is calling me literally right now, live stream. She knows that I'm live streaming right now. We're going to talk about our latest podcast that we got, the interview I just did. We're going to drop it next week with Instructor Mike. I'm going to show y'all his YouTube page. We're going to talk about Mayor Lightfoot potentially being racist. This is a story. Alex, if you could find that article for me and send that over in the private chat, that would be appreciated, sir. We're going to talk about the little Reese shooting. We're going to talk about how there's no more masks for the fully vaxxed. We're going to talk about this Stop Asian Hate bill that passes. Like I say, Offseason from J. Cole. We definitely got to get into the celebrity worship culture a bit. You know, this is something that I bomb on almost as much as Freemasonry. We got geopolitics, you know, this situation between Palestine and Israel and what is going on there. We're going to definitely delve into that. We gotta talk some crypto, Bitcoin, Doge, SafeMoon, Shiba. The Troy Trouble Jones fight that's coming up. If you guys are not familiar with Troy Trouble Jones, he was at the time when we did our podcast number 7 in the world, kickboxer. He's a glory kickboxer. Go check him out, Troy Trouble Jones. Go to our Facebook page. Back in our videos, we did a dope interview with him, me and Edwin, a little while back. I think that was like November. And then to round it off, we always got to end with new TV and film. You know, Terrell shines. So anybody who got a whole lot of stuff going on in their background, always keep in mind to mute yourself when you get up and are moving around. But yeah, we got a couple of things we're getting ready to get into here shortly, guys. But obviously, first, we just had our outside comedy show. I got a brief little clip we just put together. We got a ton of footage from it, so we're gonna do some different things with it. But I'm gonna just show you guys, you know, like brief little snippet of what we had going on this past weekend.
Yeah. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, things and things, everybody from the left to right, to up to down, north, south, east, west. I just want to let y'all know it's your boy, YMF. Dropping a freestyle for you. Cause she got some cognac and kush. She ain't shaved, so she got a bush. That cooch stinks, so please get a douche. Baby, don't push. Cognac and kush. She ain't shaved, so she got a bush. That cooch stinks, so please get a douche. Baby, yeah. I just wanna know your name. Baby, don't play no game. I'm a wildcat, I ain't tame. I don't play these games. Baby, what's your name? Oh, you got a nigga, that nigga is lame. Come and be my dame. When the beat drops, we get crazy. We get crazy. Cognac and kush. She ain't shaved, so she got a push. That cooch stank, so please get a douche. I need that cognac and kush. Baby, cognac and kush. She ain't shaved, so she got a push. That cooch stank, so please get a douche. Baby, cognac and kush. Cognac and kush. They need a douche. She got a push. Cognac and kush. She got a push. Please get a douche.
All right, guys. So I guess I didn't tell you guys that Cognac and Kush was going to be playing during that little snippet.
Oh, I know about Cognac and Kush, cuz.
Are you familiar with Cognac and Kush, or do
I'm
you just
supposed
like
to do the
Cognac
video.
and Kush? Oh, you just like Cognac.
Oh, the video, and I'm supposed to do the video, cuz. You better talk to him.
So we had our outside comedy show. It was a dope event. All the seats were actually sold, even though in the clips that he used, it didn't look like it. We sold 68 tickets. We only really had 60 chairs. We sold.
Congrats, dude. That's dope. That's big.
Much appreciated, sir. Much appreciated. It was a dope event. We had some live music going from One Light. Everything that got played was pretty much One Light or Dan and trumpet guy. Last time he was saxophone guy. I think his name's Peter. Man, I'm sorry, Peter, if you're watching. I think that's your name. If not, the trumpet guy works. It was a dope event. Bruce, you were there. How'd you feel? Can't hear you, Bruce. Hold on 1 second. I unmuted you.
Yeah, I had missed the first one. I'm like, man, I can't miss the second one. It just looked so dope from all the pictures. But just having a view that I had, man, I saw the place fill up so quick. Because one minute I'm looking down, and it was just like a handful of people there. And the next minute I looked up because I was painting and shit. Man, it was a packed house. You know, it was. I went down. Yeah, I pretty much just did like a visual of the whole show, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you pull that up, Bruce, I'll definitely. You know what? I think it's on your Facebook, right?
Yeah, it should be.
I started with the easel. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it too.
Yeah, Bruce, if you can, does it let you guys screen share? I don't know if it lets you guys screen share, but
it might. Yeah, I think it do.
I see an option for me. I'm on a Mac though.
I feel like you threw out that you were on a Mac for some reason, and
I swear to God, I was gonna say that.
I don't know why you threw that out just now.
He just trying to flex and shit, like, hey.
Like this nigga's like, yeah, you know them Chicago Fire fucking checks is looking decent these days.
It looked decent, but that was just really subconscious. Y'all called it out. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, but whatever.
I like how this guy just tried.
Hey, but also send me that link for that cognac and Kush. That should be my alarm.
You know what? We're gonna have to get that up on our Spotify because that was actually done by the guy who hosts our comedy events, Ty Riggs. He hasn't been on one of these in a little bit, but that's also because Thursday nights is when a lot of comedy shows are held, so he's usually performing while we're doing this. But I'm gonna go ahead and share it on my screen, even though it's not as big as I'd like it. Boom, boom, boom. 1 second here, guys. Yeah, so Bruce did do a little painting during the event, and he was a little bit blasted during that. So.
Yeah. I wanted to mention that.
Man, yeah.
Hey, you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the painting.
And if you could look close, you could see one of the comedians actually in the tree.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Tiny Thickums.
That's Tiny Thickums. She wanted me to paint her bent over in the tree. So I'm like, all right.
You should have got remember when the neighbor came out and he was talking to I think it was Tiny again. That shit was funny as hell to me, man.
I saw so much of the little stuff that was going on, I didn't even peep. Hey, somebody in the comments. Hey, Terrell, this comment's for you.
What's up?
Can you see it? What up, Rome? Shout out, Rome. Oh shit, I didn't even see that Vino had joined. Vino, you must have joined while we were showing the little. Yeah, he missed the whole song. He missed Cognac and Kush. He missed the whole joint. I feel like, is it too early for me to play it? I'm gonna play it again at the end. I'm not gonna.
I hate StreamYard. I just want to say that.
I don't know why you have trouble with StreamYard. You probably an
Apple
too.
Are y'all on phones or computers?
Computer.
I tried to put it on my computer. The shit was acting gay. So
you might just need a Mac, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm on the Dell.
Oh, it's fucking.
Look, I'm on PC.
Yeah, I got started on that joke. Now I'm just gonna.
Nah, it's an HP.
All right, guys. So we talked about the outside comedy show we just had, and it was a dope event. Big shout out, big thank you to all the comedians who came through. Actually, let me instead of me forgetting any of them, I'm gonna just go ahead and pull up the Instagram post real quick. I don't want to disrespect any of these extremely talented comedians. I am going to take shots at our headliner, Marcus Shakes, who was a hilarious motherfucker, but he was also late as absolute shit. So I told him I'm definitely talking shit about that since he was so late. So that is what I do.
Isaiah, what was it like for you to like kind of be like the overseer of all this shit and have shit like this come to fruition? What did that feel like?
I mean, honestly, it's dope for me. I've been, with putting the network together, making it more than just the Real Talk Chicago podcast. That whole thing has been a journey, and one day I'm gonna go do somebody else's podcast and talk about it.
True.
When we have events, man, I'm in work mode. Like that's all.
I already know.
I'm focusing on work. There's a million different things happening. At one point, some girl threw up. And then, I guess she did it low key too. But then, there was this one of our patrons, an older lady. She came and she was like, "Yo, y'all need to do something about that." So I'm like, "That's going on while the headliner's late. We got to figure out who to go on stage." There's comedians there that want to go on stage. And
how do you throw up low key though? What's he just go?
I think
I definitely threw up low key before.
Okay, all right, I give you that one.
I don't think it's overly difficult to throw up low key, but
on my soul, it's not. You just gotta be smooth with it.
When I throw up, I'm loud. My chest be hurting and shit. I'm like, no, fuck off. I can't do low key.
Throw like whatever I need to do to get it all out.
Yeah.
So this is the lineup. Well, the headliner and a couple of the people who the featured comics. Connor King, hilarious cat. Shout out to Connor King. Tiny Thickums, Ali Drapo. She killed that girl. That girl destroyed. She at one point, I don't want to fuck up her joke, but she talked about how sometimes she enjoys having bad sex solely because it's the only chance she has to use her theater training that she has. In classical theater
She get to
training.
test her acting skills.
That
Yo,
shit
that's
was hilarious.
Hell no.
Shout out to
That's
all
method right there.
Kendall, Ralph, all of these dope comedians, and then Ty Riggs. Ty Riggs is just, he's a scholar and a gentleman. The man comes through. He's looking out for us. He's putting in work. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that Kanye sketch, Alex. I appreciate you sending that through. Let me make sure to add that to the list now. So guys,
the shoes too, bro.
The outside comedy show, it was dope. We're gonna get into Chicago news here shortly. The last thing I want to talk about, we get the Mogul Minds business out of the way first. The last thing I want to talk about is our latest podcast interview that I just did. I decided not to go live for a few different reasons. A lot of times when I'm talking with law enforcement or military, I know with the questions that I ask, sometimes, we don't need to be live. And that's fine. I just did an interview with a gentleman that goes by Instructor Mike. I am going to show you his channel here shortly. And he is an Army veteran. He is a 10-year police veteran. He teaches his own classes, or he has his own business where he is instructing firearms safety training. Instructor Mike, I was about to call him Officer Mike. I should have did that shit during the episode. But you guys can see the screen, right?
Yep.
All right, so this is Instructor Mike's channel. You can see he got almost 100,000 followers. I think he said he got like 500,000 on TikTok. He's doing his thing. He came through. We had some really good, very necessary conversations. We talked about, police misconduct. We talked about the shooting that just happened where the lady cop said that she grabbed her taser by accident. And I wanted to know, is that actually something possible? Doesn't muscle memory come into play? I asked a few different questions. As you guys can see, this guy's been on the news a few different times. He's a acknowledged professional as far as firearms and law enforcement go. So this is a big interview for us. It's going to be a really dope episode. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. We're going to drop the audio. We're going to drop the audio at midnight tonight or early in the morning, like 6 a.m. That's what we'll do. We'll drop it first thing in the morning, so y'all got to finish this and get to it in the morning. And then we're going to drop clips of bits of the conversation that we were having at different times throughout the week. We'll probably drop the full episode by next week, Thursday. All right, so I got a couple of different things coming up, too. We're working on some projects, but, we'll get into those when we got something to show you guys. So now we're going to get into the Chicago news. The first thing I got on here is Mayor Lightfeet is racist. Apparently,
The black people.
So let me pull up this little article real quick. Apparently, Mayor Lightfeet is racist. I was unaware of this.
That's so sad.
That is despicable.
Isn't our white?
And the definition of racism is the systematic oppression of a particular group. So go ahead, continue, Isaiah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me pull up this little article with Mayor Lightfeet. Can you guys see? Okay, yeah, you guys can see. All right, so Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot giving interviews to journalists of color only. All right. Obviously, I wasn't reading that, or you could just blame it on my dyslexia, but either way, that's what it says. So I'm going to read this article real quick, and we'll talk about it. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot announced Wednesday that she will only be giving one-on-one interviews to reporters of color on the 2-year anniversary of her tenure as mayor, saying the City Hall press corps is overwhelmingly white in a city that's much more diverse. Now, I'm not going to argue with that because during the whole COVID thing, I was watching their you know how they do these like afternoon press conferences. I was watching them shits for a minute, really more so I could talk shit. But I was watching them, and the overwhelming majority of the press in these rooms is white, and I just think that's weird as somebody who owns, a small media company. Lightfeet, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy.
Lightfeet.
Not if you calling her Lifey, boy.
Me and Lifey's got hella shit in common. We could go shopping for suits together. I got a guy Lifey's. No, you know what? Her suit's probably like $1,000 a pop.
Minimum.
How much y'all paying on suits? I don't buy suits.
You know what?
I got a suit on sale, $200.
So it's
Okay.
Oh yeah, I just got a Calvin Klein.
I can get ready for your wedding, bro. I still ain't enough for that.
I got a Calvin Klein suit the other day, fully tailored and shit for like $119. Men's Warehouse had to close down a lot of stores during COVID.
Hey, what you doing? Send me that link, cuz. What you talking about?
Don't worry,
That's
I got a guy. I
need to know your guy. Now I can tailor it up real quick. Quick little 500, have a couple suits.
Yeah, that's exactly what I went in and did. Somebody's background is like, who's driving? Bayhard, that might be you. So
Me.
I'm gonna mute you until you say something. All right, thank you, sir. All right, so Lightfoot said she ran on being intentional about diversity and said newsrooms need to do better on diversity too. She notified the media of her plan to restrict one-on-one interviews to reporters of color in an open letter. Blah blah blah. By now, okay, whatever. So we see it's just more of that. So look, guys, how do we feel about this? How do you? I'm gonna let you guys get your opinions off. We're gonna go in order of where people show up on camera. So Alex, Mayor Lightfeet, racist or not?
Personally, no, not racist at all, because she's trying to be inclusive. She's trying to make sure that the journalists of people of color, who are usually the people whose voices are not heard, they're just trying to make sure that these dialogues are being had. And I think it's cool because people, the unmelanated, they have their own perspective as far as for how the world works. So it's really good to make sure that in order to get a well-rounded opinion on whatever the circumstances, whatever the topic is, it's good that like Hispanics, Latinos, Asians, people of color are able to actually get the time in to be able to interview a mayor, because that is really huge, and that's an accolade that they can put on the resume whenever they go to the Wall Street or whatever, wherever they end up going. So I'm all for it personally, because it's all about inclusivity. And anyone that has an issue with it, low key.
What are you trying to say, Alex?
Might be racist.
Might be a little racist.
All right. So let's get before we delve into who's racist and who's not. Let's get Ide's opinion. Ide, Mayor Lightfeet. Ide, can you even hear us? I don't even know if this guy can hear us.
Ide out here talking to God right now.
He's in there having a whole nother conversation.
Talking to his ancestors.
All right.
Hey, my bad, y'all, man. Kiwan over here dropping gems on me, man. I got caught up.
Tell Kiwan to put on his phone. So
they said this dude talking to God.
Yeah, I can see how that looks weird.
We know I dropped out. Okay, so Ide, is Mayor Lightfeet?
I'm here.
Yeah, I saw you come back. Hey, Ide, is Mayor Lightfeet racist for this?
Is she racist? What did she do?
So yeah, this guy missed the whole thing.
I did.
So Mayor Lightfeet is only giving one-on-one interviews to people of color.
Within what her like?
No, for the rest of her term, she's only doing one-on-one interviews with people of color.
I mean, I'm cool with it if you just want to hire your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good with it, but don't complain when it happens on the other side too. You know, like if we're gonna do it, have it be equally yoked on all sides, and like then a thing like discrimination can't, exist.
I think that that's a fair assessment too. I think that for my social warrior listeners and viewership out there, I would have to challenge you on that and say, well, thus far the power structure, even in this article, actually, she says,
I already know where you're going with that one.
Even in the article, she says so far the media press corps is predominantly, overwhelmingly white in a city that does not reflect that racial demographic as much. So that's her reasoning and logic for it. And I think that that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
agree. I'm not opposed to that thinking at all. You definitely need to have representation for your demographic. So I agree with it 100%. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it becomes a slippery slope when we start picking and choosing where we do that.
They already been doing that.
Yeah, that's the precedent has been set. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's damn near like everybody should do it.
Right.
They already been picking and choosing who the fuck they talk to and which race they work with, who they gonna shun. They already been doing all that. So why can't we?
So hold on.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna come back to that. Bruce, racist or nah? Yay or nay?
No, it's a no for me. She ain't racist. It's quite the opposite.
No, she doesn't have to be racist for the action itself to be racist.
I just feel like she in the position she's in as a female black male, she gonna be a little biased towards things that she.
What's
can
the definition? What's the definition of racist?
What you guys want to know? Webster's
when you oppress another group.
The textbook definition of racist.
All right, I got you. Here, I'm gonna pull it up for you guys.
Here, I got it.
Webster's definition.
It's a person who believes in racism. Hold on, they're gonna give me that dumbass definition first. The doctrine that one's own racial group is superior, or that a particular racial group is inferior to the others.
I don't think she's saying neither of those things. So no, I wouldn't call her a racist.
From that definition, that's definitely not racist.
All right. So
right.
Definition of racist, right? Prejudice against or antagonistic toward a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. So I could hear some Breitbart Fox News hardcore subscribers saying that's exactly what that is. That's racist against white people. But realistically, if
it's not against white people though.
It is with the intent of including others. And I guess to some degree it is
black love is not white hate.
Agreed.
That's true. That's a fact. All right. So Terrell, is that a yay or a nay on racist for you? Is racist?
Nah, and I don't even have to say too much more because we already just covered why. And I agree with every point.
Okay, so we got two Asian guys on the podcast, so we definitely got to ask both of our resident Asian guys. So until Gucci gets on camera, Behar, we're going to ask you first. Behar, do you feel as though that this move is antagonistic somehow toward our white friends? Keep in mind you are muted, Behar.
You should. I mean, we can expand it though. Like, if she's just preferring, like,
repeat the question again. You were breaking up.
Oh, okay. So the actual article says Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said that she ran on being intentional about diversity and said newsrooms need to do better on diversity too. She notified the media of her plan to restrict one-on-one interviews to reporters of color in a letter to reporters and a series of tweets. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot giving interviews only to journalists of color. Do you feel as though that's racist?
In this case, it's not racist at all. Especially like if she's wanting to keep touch with like more of like the minorities.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a fair opinion. Also, shout out to the homie Behar for coming through to the Outside Comedy Show. Behar, what'd you think about it?
I actually like it. In fact, it's an absolute success.
Much appreciated, sir. You're in a bunch of the photos wearing your Chicago gear too. Gucci, who's
my Chicago Blackhawks jersey?
Yes, sir.
Authentic.
What's going on, fam? What's going on?
Word, Gucci. So, how you feeling about this? Do you think that Mayor Lightfoot is racist, Gucci?
I think she's just being her in a sort of sense. I mean, I didn't see any racism into it or how I read it. I think it's just. I honestly was thinking about my guy Jeremy Gorner because he's a journalist at the Chicago Tribune, and then the next person that pops up was Tamron Hall because I used to watch WGN all the time, but she works for a bigger broadcast. You know what I'm saying? And to me, no, it's not racist, bro. Just plain and simple.
Hey, bro. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And
Right, but it's to me.
You don't view it as racist. That's fine. You don't
Right.
have to view it as racist. It would be nice if somebody on here just said it was racist just for the fuck of it.
I mean, we still play devil's advocate.
Hey,
Trying to play devil's advocate over here.
I'm gonna
You
play.
still using her power.
Oh, hey, so
But
hold
you-
on. We got a special guest in the building, real quick, guys. So we do have comedian Khalil. He stopped through. He did both this comedy show and last comedy show. Khalil's a hilarious cat. Khalil. If you could introduce yourself to the listeners for us, real quick, let them know who you are. Where you're from. Just a little elevator pitch, real quick, Khalil.
I'm from Chicago area, doing comedy for a few years, but comedians don't want to admit how long they've been doing comedy for. It's kind of like stripper admitting how long she's been stripping for. So, so we don't do that.
You must be at an outdoor party or something.
No, it's outdoor. Yeah, there's an outdoor comedy show going on. So I thought I'd just kind of check in with you guys. It sounds like you guys are having some interesting conversations about Lori Lightfoot. And then, yeah.
So while we're on topic here, Khalil, one, I just want you to talk about your experience at the Outside Comedy Show. And then two, the question was, I'll share the screen. Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she's only giving one-on-one interviews to reporters of color moving forward. Do you feel as though that's racist?
Tell grandma what's been going on.
I don't know what the deal is with all that.
She said that the press board is overwhelmingly white in a city that's not overwhelmingly white. So she wants essentially to give a shot to reporters of color.
I feel good about it. Maybe she'll give me an interview. You know what I'm saying? I got some questions for her. What's up with the suit?
So Khalil, how'd you feel about the outside comedy?
Oh
show?
yeah. Oh man, you guys are doing an amazing job with that. That thing is off the chain. It looks great. It looks like you got a following going on. I think you guys will be really successful. In fact, in coming months. So people are looking to do stuff outside, and you guys are providing the need and the want of what people want. So I think you guys are going to capitalize big time on that.
Much appreciated, Khalil. Your background is loud, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. We're gonna keep rolling. If you want to hop back in at any point, you're more than welcome. Just let it be known.
Sounds good. Yeah, man. Thanks. Hey, nice meeting you guys. Have a good time. I'll talk to you guys.
Take care, bro.
What'd you say?
Tell the people where they can check out some of your funny.
Oh yeah, Khalil is funny on Instagram and Khalil the Comedian on YouTube. It's KHALEEL. And then the comedian or it's funny. You should be able to find me.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks for getting me on, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Just
All right, guys. That's one of the comedians. He's like, with comedians, it's interesting because it could be a guy that looks just like him. For all we know, he could be some, I don't know, store clerk owner, or he's a comedian that's been on TV. He's open to working with us in the future. Isn't like he's been on TV multiple times, and he's right here from our neck of the woods in Chicago. And we don't even know without networking and the things we do with like our outside comedy show and these different events that we do. We introduce Chicago to so many different creatives and entrepreneurs, and that's one of the objectives of Mogul Minds Network. But all that being said, unless anybody had anything serious they wanted to say about Lightfeet and her potentially racist, I'll add some closing comments. Vino, I feel like we didn't really get to you on that. Did you want to?
I started.
This frame looks raw right now. That those blinds in the back, that shit look raw.
Who are you talking
That's
to, Bruce?
Alex. No, he just blocked it. Alex's background before you got into frame with the blinds. That shit looks raw.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, I'm at my in-laws right now.
Okay.
I'm a visual guy, so I had to call it out.
All right, so Mayor Lightfeet, for the most part, it seems like the overwhelming majority of the guys did not feel like Mayor Lightfeet was racist. Me personally, if I wanted to play devil's advocate, I could make some argument, but realistically, I mean, we know what time it is.
She did shit, but she did just say one-on-one interviews. She didn't say all interviews.
Right.
Yeah,
She did not say right, exactly. So I mean, honestly, I hope some new journalists of color get chances. I don't give a fuck. You know, they don't all got to be black.
Right.
If they're Hispanic, if they're Asian, if they're Middle Eastern, if, you know, they could be whatever.
Everybody else had their turn, bro.
Right. So
y'all all had your turn.
I gotta pull up this article. This next one's, you know, depending on how you feel about a lot of, this stuff, you know, some will say it's sad. I'm not gonna play the video because I saw that video and I'm not doing that. We're not doing that here.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about what I think we're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about what you think we're talking about. So give me.
Why everybody looks so serious?
What is that? I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
We're talking about.
Yeah, I was looking at my phone.
We're talking about.
Y'all talking about Reese?
Yeah, we're talking about. Did you not see the video, Terrell?
I mean, I saw a screenshot. I need to see the video.
I didn't see it.
That
Video was crazy, bro.
That video was.
It seems like one of those crazy videos that all of us have seen, but it's just crazy because it's Lil Reese on the end of it.
Honestly, it seemed a little bit worse than a lot of the videos that.
I'm gonna go last.
All right. So we're gonna go in order. If you guys think we should, look, man, I ain't showing that video. I'm just
nah, don't do it.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm gonna check it out myself right now.
I'll watch it right now just so I can react with y'all, but
the video is graphic, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't watch a graphic video.
Throw the link in the chat because can't nobody see the private chat.
Y'all like y'all ain't never seen no blood before. He just bleeds shit.
I mean, that's what I just said. That's what I said starting off, that it's the same thing except it's just Lil Reese. We've all seen
you don't see no gunshot wounds. He just on the ground bleeding. He leaking shit.
But his eyes look crazy, bro. Like his eyes are rolling back.
Like the whole thing.
That nigga was being dramatic, bro.
Man,
guys, hold on, guys.
Hey, you're a fool, man.
Hey, hold on, guys. So the homie,
the same thing.
So one of the viewers, the homie Jay Piedras, and I probably messed up the pronunciation. Piedras. Jay said he said show it. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to the Hitmaker Squad.
Yeah, shout out to you, Jay. I'm on your side.
Said show it. Shout out to the Hitmaker Squad. Chicago artists putting in work. Go check them out. Jay, I don't know, man. If we get one more person to tell us to show it, two more people comment for us to show it, we're gonna show it.
Listen. Because you gotta think about it, bro. The FBG Duck video, that's graphic. He is on the ground actually dying. Reese is on the ground leaking, bro. He got beat up.
No, that's not. He didn't get beat up. It was a little.
He got grazed. He didn't get shot up or anything like that. He got grazed, bro.
He got grazed. I thought
he got grazed, bro. Dude punched his ass up. You ain't see his head. He got punched up. It ain't nothing wrong with showing a nigga punched up.
All right, so let's see, because that video was sent to me on Facebook. Let's see if I can find it. Somebody sent me the video in the comments or in the private chat, and I'll show it. Somebody should send the video in the private chat.
Now his man's, he was fucked up.
Do we know the context? I didn't even know Lil Reese got beat up. I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, apparently, like they were in a stolen car.
He flexed this motherfucking ass on his head. It looked like he slammed him right on his face.
Now, according to Lil Reese, he was meeting up with some guys who he directed.
I'm not listening to nothing he says.
Yeah, he had to. It sounds too strange. He's supposed to be meeting up with some guys to buy some weed from them, but it just so happened that they was in a stolen car that was getting tracked at the time. And they found their car and aired their ass out.
Yeah, it was a younger dude and his pops, I think. And they're the ones that shot him.
Me and my daddy would have came and did the same shit.
Okay, so Alex, you haven't seen it. Terrell, you haven't seen it. Gucci, have you seen it?
Nah, I have not seen it.
Shout out to Lil Reese, though. I don't got nothing against Lil Reese.
I don't even know this guy, honestly.
You can't keep getting caught in goofy ass situations.
I don't even know what y'all fucking talk about.
So I couldn't tell you any really of Reese songs, right? I'm not gonna pretend like I haven't known who he was for years because I used to be a fan of, even before Everyday Struggle, years before that, I was always following the Warren Chirac, DJ Academics.
He's on a legendary Chicago song. Lil Reese is on Don't Like.
They also
Oh, is
he
got some shit himself though. He got a couple of decent tracks.
He got some shit himself.
He was also dubbed the Chirac Grim Reaper by
That song was
DJ
great.
Academics. From my understanding, a whole lot of people, for a good span of time, a lot of people who got into Twitter beef with him ended up shot or dead not long after. So that's why he got.
We don't know that, bro. Nobody. We don't know that, bro.
All I'm saying is this is where the nickname came from. This is where the nickname came from. That's all I'm saying.
He said, "Don't put that on my
We don't know none of that. We don't know none of that.
That's academics about that shit. That don't have to look.
Academics know for real though.
He was clout chasing at the time, man.
At the time, but is it really clout chasing if you're a hip hop reporter and you're reporting on hip hop?
I mean, he just was very colorful about how he did it, and people hated that. You know, it's just
listen, let me tell you, bro. Academics is doing what a lot of these interviewers and bloggers and everything should have been doing. He was paying attention to the trenches of Chicago, which nobody was at the time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's just real. They ain't give us. They paying attention to the trenches of LA, the trenches of Atlanta, the trenches of New Orleans, the trenches of New York. But when nobody talking about the trenches of the city, the academics was doing that. Now, regardless, now if he's saying incriminating shit, man, come on, man. Niggas is criminals, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They criminals, nigga. If a nigga talking about what a criminal do, it's gonna be incriminating. So, you know what the fuck?
Hey, you got a point there.
Yeah, I can't say nothing about that one.
how you know how to scam cards unless someone knows how to scam cards, right?
Exactly.
Oh, y'all here scamming cards? No, I'm just playing.
Now, okay, all right. We finna talk about. Let's change the subject because now we going too far.
All right. So look, guys. A guy, Lil Reed. You know, look. Anybody who gets who's a victim of violence, look, we're not looking to make light of it unless they're like some fucked up person. I don't know this man personally. I just know that when you get in as much money as like Reese, and you know, honestly, I don't know how much money he's getting because, like I said, I can't name any of his songs. But when you are in a position where you have fame, usually, if you're smart, you can capitalize and make money off of that fame. And sometimes I think it's smarter to remove yourself from a lot of these situations.
Absolutely.
It's, you know, and I don't know how he ended up back here. I don't know why he was like. I don't know what that was about, but when I saw it, it looked bad. Nobody sent us the video, so we're gonna move on to the next topic then.
Anybody can get caught lacking, so that's not saying, you know what I'm saying? That's not saying you can't get caught slipping and get hit up. It can happen to anybody. But the thing is, it keep happening to you, though.
So what, you think there's a reason for this?
Yes.
What do you think that reason is, if you had to speculate?
Well, I think we all got the general consensus. He is a goofy. Goofies always get caught in goofy ass situations. Now, you could be a goofy and a killer. You could be a goofy and a rich nigga. You could be a goofy, and you know what I'm saying? You could be a goofy and all that shit. You always doing goof ass shit, and niggas catch your goof ass and do your ass like a goofy.
Let's let them know that we're talking about. Let's let it be known that we're talking about the Chicago version of being a goofy.
Chicago, right? Yeah, Chicago goofy. Y'all know. And then when we say goofy, it's just a nigga that don't think before he acts. You know what I'm saying? He not a thinker. He ain't a smart nigga. He gonna go do some. It's not a silly nigga. It's a nigga that don't think before he go do some shit and then get in some shit. Like we look at that shit like goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like you should have thought about that shit before you went over there and did that shit. But you didn't again, and you got caught in another goofy ass situation.
Like a motherfucker that robbed the job that they work at. Shit like that.
Goofy. You know what I'm saying? Goofy. That's a textbook definition. That's a perfect textbook definition of goofy.
Like, don't I know your voice? You sound
right. Like, don't say my name, nigga. Like that type of shit. Like, dude.
All right, guys. So we, unless anybody else got anything to add on this little Reese situation, me being perfectly honest, I don't really care. When I saw the video, they said he was shot. I saw him slumped over. There was blood leaking out his mouth. It looked bad to me. That shit looked bad.
I just feel like
that's how I look when you get your ass beat good enough.
If you from the hood, or not even from the hood, if you make it big, I feel like you have at minimum a year, but I'll even extend it to 2 years. You have 2 years to get your life together. Cut ties with people that you need to.
Right.
All the motherfuckers. I'm over here in my inbox. All those folks that you hung out with that are on some BS. Like you need to make that decision to elevate yourself and be like, yo, bro, I ain't about this. I'll help you. I might send you some money real quick to get you off your feet, but that's it.
I'm not saying he not about it. He may be about it.
I'm saying that.
You know what I'm saying?
Be about it. But when you rich and you a public figure, you can't be about it no more.
Exactly.
You can't be about it no more. You goofy if you still got good tendencies.
What was you doing in the Chicago parking garage? Getting
definition.
Like, come on, man.
Goofy, right? Hey, games equal.
You got money.
I'm loving the definition of this.
Yeah, just you guys got to be careful to not talk over each other because that shit sounds terrible for the listeners. But check it out. So, all right, we got a Chicago definition for goofy. So as the listeners listen, clearly this is a Chicago show. We use specific lingo. Maybe one day we should do an episode where we claim all our fucking slang. You know, like, because stop got away from us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Joe.
That's ours. Like,
hey, Joe. What's up, Joe?
So I think that we should do that at some point, just like we did the Chicago commercials, the classic Chicago commercials. If y'all don't that shit out.
I must say that we will eventually be too old to keep up with that stuff. So
that's a fact too, because I still ain't calling we za.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not doing that.
I just caught on.
I'm not doing that.
Chronic.
Hey, listen, yo, I was just telling my girl that I said a few years ago, I told myself I wasn't gonna start using cap, but that was cap.
That's an Atlanta word.
That shit was cap.
That's from Atlanta. It's not ours.
Oh yeah, yes, you're right. That is from ATL.
I say cap now, y'all.
Yeah,
too much, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That's right.
Stay on the conversation of cap for a second. There's a fucking hilarious video that I want y'all to see, or 2 videos from a rapper. I don't know who is that. I don't know. One of you guys tweaking, playing a whole bunch of bullshit in your background. I'm about to pull up this clip real quick. Give me a second. This shit is hilarious to me. It's funny. He said cap. And then the first thing I could think about was this. As soon as I see the video, I'm about to pull it up. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all me scrolling down this dude's page because I think he's hilarious.
And what if they let lawyers use cap instead of objection in court?
that's hood.
That'd be crazy.
I gotta see the cap.
That shit would be hilarious.
That shit would be hilarious.
Like cap, Your Honor. Oh God.
So have y'all ever seen this guy's videos before?
Nah.
He does these videos where he's a police dispatcher, but a hood police dispatcher. So I'm gonna show y'all this video first.
Whole truth and nothing but the truth. Okay, tell the court what you seen.
Well, I seen Mac walking from the house.
Cap!
Okay. And I interrupt again.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, tell the court what you seen.
Well, I seen Mac walking from the house.
Cap!
All right, so there's that one, and then there's one more that I wanted to show y'all real quick because I just thought this shit was fucking hysterical.
One with show murders.
I like to report a body.
Like a murder?
Oh no, not that one.
He said like a party.
Yeah.
What's your emergency? I like to report a trap house. Okay. Desmond White. Hey, this you? Yeah, who this? It's Matt. You snitching? No, ain't nothing like that. Damn, nah, I'm telling the guys. Oh man.
Wait, listen.
Yeah, bro, you might well go see about your phone.
Hell no.
Wait, y'all. Okay. Hey, y'all
gotta
hear the end.
That's crazy, man. That shit. Wow.
Wait, hold on. Y'all gotta hear the end.
Yeah, I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it.
House. Okay. What's your name? Desmond White. Hey, this you? Yeah, who this? It's Matt. You snitching? No, it ain't nothing like that. Damn, nah, I'm telling the guys. Oh man, chill out. Yeah, man, you might well go see about your mama. The boy gonna put you in a pack. You was gone.
He said you might as well go ahead and tell your mama because them boys gonna put you in a pack.
That dude, like, that was he said, "You snitching?"
Yeah, that's just hilarious.
He's like,
that shit would be funny as hell if a hood nigga was like a dispatcher.
The whole idea.
See that niche shit right there. That's that new world of comedy, bro.
The whole concept is fucking hysterical to me. Like them boys gonna put you in a pack. Yeah. Hey, one of the listeners, Jay, he said, how they get za out of exotic? I guess
Exotic.
I don't know, bro.
It's a stretch.
Bro, these kids can't read. They read like, whatever the subtitles say. They can't read for real.
I think it sounds
for real. Fuck them kids.
Exotic is not
hold on. Yeah, Terrell, we can't hear you.
Fair enough.
All right, go ahead.
I'm saying getting za out of exotic is not as bad as getting colonel out of colonel. You know the way it's spelled?
I mean,
first of all, no. Let's address the fact that this man said colonel and not colonel.
No, that's how it's supposed to sound. Is what I'm getting at. It's like colonel.
The English language makes no sense.
Hey, Wednesday is another one for me.
Alex, not today.
Wednesday.
Yeah, man, that shit make no sense.
I mean, realistically, if we're gonna talk about dumbass shortening of words, how the fuck did they get dick out of Richard?
Most of our words.
I don't know. That's a great question.
Like,
yeah, that's
where
goofy.
did you get that from?
Like,
I have no idea how they got dick.
Slang is better than most times. Like, yo, that's so much easier than saying Richard or Dick. Like, what? Don't make sense.
Hey, so we're gonna get back to the next topic, guys, and the next topic is going to be this T.I. and Tiny situation. Did we get an article? Did you send it? Yeah, you did send an article.
Well, who did they rate now?
Who did they rate now?
Hey, T.I. actually just he just put a post up. He got a song addressing that shit coming out tonight.
No one's trying to hear that.
That's the wrong thing to do. I hate when niggas do that.
Oh, he said, "Who did they?" No, that's crazy.
He's saying it's COINTELPRO.
Allegedly. All right, so let me go ahead and read the article. TMZ says T.I. responds to sexual assault. It's funny they put his name super small, but responds to sexual assault accusers in song. And then in quotations, some lying bitches. Why would you have to?
Yo, Isaiah.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Why would you have to bleep out ass but then put bitches?
Right.
But no, you brought up a good point with the font of the letters. That's intentional.
Yeah, it's intentional for sure.
Like I didn't even think about that. I'm like, yo, you know what? You onto something right there.
It's very intentional.
Yeah. So apparently, okay. Where's Ide? Ide, are you here? You actually paying attention?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here.
All right. So Ide, if you could catch us up, bring everyone abreast about what this T.I. situation is.
Yeah, no. So there have been a lot of accusations, various women coming out saying that T.I. and his wife have been involved in, some forms of sexual assault. I don't know to what extent. I mean, as bad as rape, I guess. And then, so yes, he has not addressed any of this. She has not addressed any of this. He's kind of been low even on socials. You know.
Has he been doing his podcast that, you know, people...
I don't know. I'm not a follower.
Yes, he has.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he has? The only one of his podcasts that I actually sat through was Alex Jones.
Yeah, I watched that one. That was the Alex Jones show was better.
You know what I didn't like about it? I didn't like that. I understand marketing, but T.I. called, like, he did con in capital letters and calls them conspiracy theorists. But he didn't even get into no conspiracy theories on his podcast. He only talked about declassified info. But the way that he put con, like he was a con man. And it's just like, so you invite this man to sit down on your platform, have a respectable conversation with the man, actually talk about the messed up stuff that the American government has done to our black people with this man. And then you call him a con man in the title of the episode. I feel like that's kind of like bitch shit to me. Like I don't feel
right. I feel that. I can feel that. But what if he didn't choose the title for the episode?
If he didn't choose that title, you know what? There's a certain amount of people who shoot the messenger no matter what. So
I feel
the simple fact that they would have seen Alex Jones' name without you immediately shitting on him or saying he was debunked, a certain amount of people just ain't even going to check it out because of that. So,
like Alex Jones.
So these stories about T.I. and Tiny, like you said, they've been getting accused of sexual assault and all this. You said that they haven't really spoke about it.
Yeah, the cover for his song is actually like it looks like a pad with lyrics on it.
Oh yeah, I got it right here. I'll go back to the screen share.
Yeah, one of the bars he says is "Speak for the people. What you did, we can undo. Welcome to COINTELPRO Part 2." Damn.
Well, I don't know that I believe that about T.I. Now, COINTELPRO is real, and I've definitely brought it up on this podcast multiple times. COINTELPRO is the name.
Counterintelligence program.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Belly, Terrell?
What?
Look, hold on. For the viewers,
right? He was insulted.
Okay.
He's like, I make movies. What are you talking about?
Right. So I get that. So he was asking what COINTELPRO is. And this is the best idea anybody's going to have is from the hood that's seen the movie Belly. Remember when DMX's character, rest in peace to DMX, remember when DMX's character, he got them two young dudes in the restaurants and one of them claps the other one and he's so fucked up that he just sits there so the police arrest him.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he gets out of jail, don't know who bonded him out, and then there's some white guy, some shady white guy there, and then he tells him basically, go kill this, black inspirational leader, but you got to sew your way in with him.
Right.
That is exactly how COINTELPRO works.
Okay, it's starting to come back to me. I think we've discussed it before. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. That entire movie is about a COINTELPRO.
Oh, that's an even better example with the Judas and the Black Messiah for sure.
Right. That's what the whole movie is about.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and hit play on whatever this thing is that T.I. posted. What the fuck? Was it just a picture?
No, there was a snippet of the song too.
Let's see.
In the fight, I reside like the money do. Niggas are try wearing wise at the.
Oh, can we do that? Can we play that without? Are we gonna get a copyright strike right there?
You probably will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that alone. But there goes the album cover. Because we've been striked so many times for like the most random tiniest bit.
I feel like they be coming at y'all like every so left and right, boy.
Bro, they really do.
Before you even post shit.
Apparently, my phone, the IP address of my phone is banned from monetizing Instagram. I can't even promote Mogul Mind stuff from my personal Instagram.
Damn.
Yeah.
You gotta have the burner.
Get a new IP, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some things, but I ain't gonna say it on the internet.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm already in the algorithms. So, guys, this T.I. and Tiny situation. Honestly, anybody got anything else to add to it? We're gonna move on.
Next.
All right. So.
Well, I do have one thing to say, actually, to that.
What's the word?
Like, bro, we definitely got to update some laws when it comes to, and I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword. But as far as for like rape allegations, like all these, like sexual assault allegations, all that stuff. Because there's no way. Because like I understand the argument of like,
oh yeah, this is a real double-edged sword. I know where you're going.
Yeah, it's like
what you're talking about. If I can help you out, I think you're talking about the whole ideology of believe all anybody. Like when that hashtag believe all women was going around, as though women aren't able to lie or believe all anything. I would never tell you to believe all black people. I've been lied to by black people. Like, I would never tell you to believe all anybody. I don't know woman that trusts every woman. I don't know one.
Yeah, and I think to your point, Alex, is what you're saying is that there should be repercussions for people who make these accusations or these false accusations.
Yeah, but it's kind of tough when you start talking about moving up the ladder and talking about like heads of corporations and how they can bury people in paperwork, where it's just like an average Joe's not going to be able to, well, a Jane Doe isn't going to be able to fight that fight, where she'll end up ruining the rest of her life. But there definitely needs to be some legislation in some capacity to protect the accuser as well as the accused until this stuff is settled. Because women,
because it doesn't work out the way that they say with all that innocent until proven guilty shit. That is not the way it works, especially with social media and the court of public opinion.
It's false, because if my high school girlfriend accuses me of rape, that's going to follow me for the rest of my life, regardless of whether it's true or not.
Right.
People are already going to have that stigma about it.
The accusation is like, that's the probably, you know, obviously if you did, you fucked up, but the accusation, whether or not you did or not, is fucking, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
The accusation itself can ruin your whole life.
Right.
So like low key, a lot of these court cases should definitely be private until that stuff is resolved. Just for the simple fact of just like with the OJ trial, like the court proceeding, everyone's going to have their opinion already.
Right.
So that to have that stuff public and have stuff be determined by a grand jury, like of course their opinion is going to be influenced. The public perception is going to be influenced.
All right.
There needs to be steps in place to protect, just so we can have a fair trial without the influence of outside sources. So that's all I wanted to say on that.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with everything you said. But now, since you said it, did OJ do it?
I personally think he did it. If I'm on trial and you give me a glove, I'm not gonna put that glove on.
Wait, hold on. The glove did not fit, and if the glove don't fit, you must quit. From my understanding, though. So look, you guys know that I'm the resident conspiracy guy, and I was listening to a podcast a while back, and one of the things that I thought was interesting, it was Miko Grimes. She is the wife of NFL player Frank Grimes. And one of the things that she said was, she said within those Hollywood, NFL circles, one of the things that is known is that OJ has an older son. And his older son is actually the one who did it. And OJ took that L for his son.
He didn't take the L because he didn't do it, right?
I don't know. Well,
he took the scrutiny.
Right. I mean, as far as anybody's, everybody wants to call that man a killer. Dave Chappelle has fucking hilarious jokes about, him looking into the eyes of a killer.
Legendary TV moment, by the way.
That was very
absolutely true. We weren't even, most of us, were young when that shit happened, but Gucci remembers that
shit. It was like 90s. It was like in the 90s or the early South. It was like in the 90s, right?
Early 90s.
Yeah,
early 90s. I remember him riding down whatever highway it was and them chasing him. It was crazy. It was like, yeah. It was crazy. That was during the first Bulls championship run, if I'm not mistaken.
So what is that, 92, 93?
Something like that.
91 and 93.
All right.
The nigga wrote a book called "If I Did It."
If I did it.
He said I didn't do it, but if I did, this is how it would happen.
If I did do it, this is how I would do it. Come on, y'all.
Bro, I think that is the most
Oh my god.
ever. Because either it takes someone with a great sense of humor to be able to pull that off,
or somebody
to be like, hey, I chose the judicial system. It helped me.
Wow.
That's crazy.
If he did it, he
But
wrote
that takes some balls, man. That takes balls.
Even though she still love him. No.
All right, you're back. Tell Kiwan he gotta go in a different room, bro.
Oh, okay.
Grandma got some messages.
Yeah, I ain't gonna sidetrack y'all like that.
He was always stirring up trouble over there.
So, Kanye TV show. Are we ready for it? I'm gonna play this
Hell
video
yeah.
real quick.
Oh, like the Kardashians, like a show?
You gotta check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen real quick for this video.
I should have shared it with you.
Let me make sure I got the boom. Let's get
I found this on Reddit today.
All right, let's get it.
But it's not about me right now. It's about this dying Make-A-Wish kid, okay?
Oh my gosh, Mr. West, we're so glad you're here. Thank you so much. It's a dream, like a wish come true. Jaleel, what?
Hold on, wait a second.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to? Oh, no.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, scary tiger.
Hello? Hello? Make-A-Wish kid. Oh, I'm with the Make-A-Wish kid right now. I'm with the Make-A-Wish kid right now. Is he here?
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
right in
here?
front of you.
Excuse me,
To your left.
ma'am. I'm with the Make-A-Wish kid. I can't even see him right now. I'm trying to do this thing with my hoodie, and you're calling me right now. Hello? Is he here?
Yeah, he's right. He's to your left again. Right there, right
Hold on.
there.
I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm with the Make-A-Wish kid.
Jaleel, could you put the PSP down maybe and talk to Kenny a little bit?
Kanye.
Kenny.
Kanye.
Oh, I'm from Ohio. We say Kenny. That's how we pronounce it.
Well, I don't care where you're from. You pronounce my name Kanye.
Right?
Kanye.
Kanye.
Yeah, okay.
Like Kanye Rogers. Island in the stream.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite artist? Who do you like?
Lil Wayne. R. Kelly's cool. Lloyd.
He said
this age is terrible.
Lloyd over Kanye.
What? Do you like any of my songs?
Remember, this was Lloyd when he was hot. Get it, shorty. You
on the cover of
come on
Vibe
now.
magazine. So you'd be a
No,
little
I've
respectful.
actually never been on the cover of Vibe.
You haven't?
I was on Time, Rolling Stone, Time.
Kanye's humor is hilarious because his tone.
You never heard of it, Time?
Oh no, yeah, I've heard of it. I have a subscription. I didn't think they put you on the cover. What for?
I mean, well, you didn't have to think they put me on the cover because they did. It didn't have to be in your thoughts. It was in your reality.
That's awesome. Congratulations. What was it for?
It was for being the smartest man in pop music. That's what it said.
How do they measure something like that?
Well, I guess isn't that too many smart people in pop music?
I guess not. Yeah, you wouldn't believe some
Yo,
of the dumb people that I
hilarious how funny she is.
I'm not one of them.
Is that Rashida Jones?
It looks like Rashida.
Yeah, but the quality's so terrible.
No, it's definitely not Rashida.
No, it's not her. Rashida Jones way prettier than her.
horrendous car crash I've
Allison
ever
Flynn.
even heard of or seen.
All right, so we can
She wasn't buckled in.
we can
Her parents hit a deer. She flew
and
right
this
through the
one.
window. I mean,
So if we remember, Kanye did get a what was the Netflix deal, Alex?
I don't know, but that was recent though.
Right, the Netflix deal was recent. I know you wanted to touch on that, Alex. You being, people call me a stan. I would argue that I am not a stan. I'm a big fan. There are a lot of stans out here. Alex, would you accept that title, stan?
I would accept the title, Stan.
You're a stan too.
What makes me a Kanye stan? The only thing they ever can use is one of the two rules we got at Mogul Mind Studios is no Lil Wayne slander and no Kanye West slander. We don't do that here.
I don't think you're a stan of anything, to be honest. I did. Yeah.
I like to take an objective stance on most things. You know what I'm a stan about? I'm a stan about NASA being absolute full of shit.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
I feel as though I have a personal gripe with NASA. I grew up idolizing these niggas.
He wanted to be an astronaut at one point, man. His little heart was broken.
Bro, still right now, I want to go to the moon, and I know these niggas didn't go.
Yo, if they invited you to the NASA headquarters, you going, bro?
Negative.
You're going, bro.
Oh, you going?
I'm definitely going. You're not going
on an invite,
bro. You can like call bullshit on a lot of shit.
Look, you guys can go. I'm not going. You know how
just write your will beforehand. You'll be
Hey,
fine.
bro, it would be such fire promo for the merch if you just went to NASA with a NASA t-shirt, bro. Like,
everything
that'd
around
be some fire promo.
Isaiah, I got a question. Isaiah. I want to.
What's the word?
Why didn't they go?
Why didn't they go?
Right.
Because we don't have any metal alloy that can make it both through the Van Allen radiation belt and then solar flares.
Who is we?
The United States government with the declassified tech that we know about.
Exactly. So do you know what the United States government has?
They got all types of shit in black budget programs, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is why didn't NASA put them Freemasons on the moon? And
do we know?
Yeah. Now we know.
No, we don't, bro. We don't know, bro. No, we don't.
We know. When you've done as much research as I've done, hey, I got an episode. It's called NASA: Heroes or Hoaxers.
I'm not saying NASA is not full of shit. All I'm saying is, how do you know they ain't go to the moon?
Oh, this is what I'm saying. Okay. There's an extremely unlikely scenario that is more plausible to me. It's unlikely, but it's more plausible that they went to the moon. Some aliens was up there like, what the fuck are y'all niggas doing here? Get the fuck off. And then told them not to bring their ass back. Now,
in English or in alien? Martian?
They probably got universal translators or some shit for all we know. Like who knows what these niggas got? They're aliens, right?
Right.
So I can get into those types of hypothetical conversations without a doubt. I have no issue there. But if we're going to talk about the evidence provided to humanity between 1969 and 1975, no, they didn't go.
But we can't base what happened off the evidence provided.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's absolutely how we do things. That's absolutely how we do things. We go off of the information.
I don't know, bro. That's not much of a conspiracy theorist approach. Like you can't. How can you do that?
Nah, you know. Hold on. Look.
First of all, I'm gonna put my stand hat on real quick. Can we talk about Kanye? Because we were supposed to be talking about some Kanye right now.
We definitely was, but I just wanted to.
All right, so look, I'm gonna table this NASA conversation for later on in the convo. I'm gonna add it to the list, and we'll talk about it later if time permits.
Your forehead was getting real shiny. I was just trying to see.
Y'all don't want. Why y'all not talking about the Kanye West Bethlehem one?
Your forehead was getting mighty shiny.
All right, so we're talking about Kanye. Before we get off of Kanye, hey, are you guys all here for this new Kanye show? That's
hell yeah.
I just
new. That was from 2010.
No,
if anything, this is a topic on whether is America or the world
ready for
Kanye to not be a musical talent, a musical or fashion.
No,
talent.
It's a documentary. It's not a TV show. It's sold.
But that was from 2010. That was the same year that the VMAs happened with Taylor Swift.
Okay, one of you is talking about the old one, the video we just played.
That nigga know what year that was. He was like, I recognize that outfit. I seen him wear that.
No, check it out. I'm the biggest fan because he nibbled his way into the Kanye concert after we graduated.
That Kanye concert? Hey, I was talking to Mr. Teasel about that.
I was there. He wore them same shoes. Like, I know when he recorded this.
The Jesus Nazareth Air Force Ones? Yeah.
Those are real. Those are real, right?
All right, guys. So this Kanye conversation, for the most part, as the listeners may know at this point, You know, Alex is an admitted stan. I am not a stan. I'm a very big Kanye fan. Not
Shaky.
a stan. I've seen him live more than any other performer that I've ever seen.
Same.
So is this gonna be like a TV show or a documentary? How is this being presented?
Okay, so hold on.
It was supposed to be
Alex,
like
'cause you're explaining it confusing. That's why Terrell was lost. The video that we watched was an old, like, him filming his own pilot, right?
Okay.
And then the Netflix deal, multi-million-dollar Netflix
Just something
deal,
separate.
was footage that he had been collecting himself over the years that they have
Gotcha.
built out into a.
So that clip is not an actual clip from the documentary, which is going to be on Netflix. Okay.
No, but
It was
Alex's
supposed
question.
Okay.
It was supposed to be kind of like a curb your enthusiasm type of show. Where it's like Kanye being himself, but being in like situation.
Oh, but that's not what's being filmed. The documentary is what's being.
Yeah, the documentary is something separate in and of itself.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Like I just want to take over now since it's Kanye real quick. The reason why I shared it. The reason why I shared it because I saw it on Reddit, and some of the comments were saying like it was both critically praised as well as bashed. And the time that this aired was like just after like the MTV VMA Awards with Taylor Swift. So Kanye publicly is at his lowest. Everyone hates him. If you're a black man and you do anything with a white woman that ends up insulting her or degrading her in any way, America and the Western world will crucify you. And so the reason why I shared it,
I feel like that's not new.
it's not new, but
For somebody
only, I wouldn't say only, but since the 2000s, black people have been the freest that we've ever been socially, as far as for being able to speak our mind, do this and that. And the reason why I shared it was because I felt like a show like this with Kanye would have been huge. I think just because of the fandom of Kanye.
Why do you say would have been?
Because it never moved past his pilot, I'm assuming. The fact that
So you're not saying that it couldn't be huge today?
he doesn't have the same fame that he had back in 2010.
I agree with that.
No, come on.
He doesn't.
But it's not. It's a lot of. He still has the same amount of people looking at him, but it's not all as positive as it was in his years before the Kardashians.
Exactly, because I see videos from TikTok when it's like young kids who like low key never grew up on Kanye,
right?
But they act like Kanye stands, and so like clearly like Kanye has the musical resume to have people on a generational level to pull kids in to be like, yo, this dude's the shit. But in 2010, when Kanye West was at his lowest as far as for like public opinion, either you hated him or you loved him. There was no in between. You had an opinion on Kanye. And I actually talked about this with my fiance because like, and I kind of said it as a troll when Kanye West on Famous said, I made Taylor Swift famous.
I made that bitch famous.
I was like, Kanye West has the argument to say that he made Taylor Swift famous because until that moment, Taylor Swift was recognized at that moment as the best rising star by winning that VMA Awards. And Kanye propelled her career to astronomical levels.
He made her a household name, even in the urban community.
He said he can't. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a valid argument, honestly.
Like, I don't want to take anything away from Taylor Swift because she was recognized in that moment for being a rising star. And even I love Taylor Swift. She makes bangers. I don't care.
I've never heard a Taylor Swift song.
It.
Never.
No, you know some Taylor Swift songs. I ain't trying to hear that.
No,
I ain't trying to hear that. If
I don't know that I know him. I don't know.
You would be like, yo, I remember that song.
Right. I might. Yeah, that might be possible.
I agree with Alex on that one.
But I just want to be like, yo, Kanye West can still make the argument. Taylor Swift, and it's all like theoretical. Obviously, it's all hypothetical.
Of course.
I don't think Taylor Swift would have been as big as she was if it wasn't for that Kanye moment. Because whether you knew who Taylor Swift was or Kanye was, you had an opinion on that moment. and Taylor Swift makes music that anyone can listen to. And
Does
so
she?
Country
Does
or
she?
I would say both.
Pop country.
I would say both because country is as basic as it is. Like people still use the same exact chords, the same exact beats per minute, all that stuff. That it's a science now. Like country isn't anything to me.
That's fucking right. Music is a science. When you think about it.
It's a science. Like these labels, they know what beats per minute. They know what tempo of the music that needs to be made in order for people to continue listening.
All right,
It's
let's fuck this. Fuck Taylor Swift. She hasn't been relevant.
No. Taylor Swift still makes bangers. I have some Taylor Swift on my
Alex,
Spotify. I'm not going to
nobody here is going to co-sign you on that. So
you guys can deny it as much as you want.
I'm not denying that. I don't listen.
Alex,
I don't listen to it like that either. But if a Taylor Swift song comes on, I'm not going to be like, yo, turn that song off. Taylor Swift makes the music.
I don't have her in any of my playlists.
I've never heard the Taylor Swift song. Bad
I will
choice.
listen to an Adele album. I'm not really checking for Taylor Swift, bro. I'm just not.
I'm not checking for Taylor Swift either. But I know if a Taylor Swift song comes on, you're not going to turn it off because Taylor Swift makes good music.
I actually listen to Spanish radio in the car because
that's your wife, though.
No. So she doesn't even drive the same car as me at this point. I just leave it on Spanish stations because I'm so tired of listening to the same 16 songs all the goddamn time.
Well, you Belizean, so I believe it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I always forget that.
you had to embrace your culture at some point, so it's cool. I don't hold it against you.
You know, Belizean culture is Caribbean, right? They don't like make music in Spanish.
But you're in the Central America.
Yeah, the way that Belize works, Belize was an English colony in Central America. So
who wasn't?
Yeah, they were an English colony. So everybody speak English in Belize. You don't need to learn a new language. You don't need to transfer your money if you go.
There's no Spanish in Belize.
They speak it. What'd you say?
They don't speak Spanish in Belize?
Half of people can speak Spanish. Hey, Vino, you say you got to head out. Before you head out, we was just about to talk about Offseason.
Oh, J. Cole?
Yeah,
Jermaine? No, listen. I have to head out then because that's like a movie. I don't want it spoiled. I ain't heard it yet.
I haven't listened to it yet either. So I guess we're just going to have to come back to this topic unless I know Bruce heard it. But this guy, I don't know what's going on with him. Okay, he's back.
My bad, Joe.
So I'm going to go ahead. I have not heard the album yet. I'm going to step away for spoilers real quick. You can take point on this convo for now. I'm going to back out and go on a quick outside break real quick.
Love. Yes, sir. Who heard it? Who heard it here?
I mean, I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Word.
Jermaine.
Yeah.
Jermaine. Who heard that man Cole?
He I feel like he really took his time with that album, bro.
Hey, at the end of it, I'm definitely playing an RDC World video about J. Cole. Terrell, if you could do me a favor, or Alex, if you could do me a favor and send it in the private chat so I can pull it up at the end of the conversation.
Who, Cole? Jermaine?
Man.
So the album, though, in my opinion, bro, it's up there as one of his best bodies of work. Because, like, he still keeps with the times, but he still keeps with himself. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he still knows how to finesse and evolve while still keeping his original feels. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, for sure. He was spitting. Like, I loved his deliveries, his flows, his whole rap style, like his way he was coming with everything. Everything was, carefully crafted. Like, the bars, everything. You can see that he took his time with it, and I appreciate, like, him stepping outside the box a little bit with certain samples he used and shit, like the song with I forgot the sample. I'm high as hell, but man, he killed it. Like the beats on there are all fire. Everything he did was just dope.
Definitely, bro. Man, that just playing, like putting the album on. I'm gonna just give y'all like my rundown. It was like, I go ahead and play the album. And the first voice you hear on there is Cam, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they got the "I Really Mean It" sample on that track.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they killed it, bro. Like, how do you get Killer Cam on the track and don't let him spit?
it wasn't necessary. Like,
I didn't realize that.
Bro, you just got him on the ad-libbing your shit,
talking
hyping
this
it up.
shit. Yeah,
For
yeah.
real.
They
Like,
can't
so-
get people faces, bro. This dude is
So I'm expecting like a deluxe version of the album where he might have an extended verse for Cam or just other music that he dropped with him, you know.
That's a good
That'd
point.
be crazy.
That's a good point because, like you're saying, like having Cam on it, like, bro, I'm not finna spit him. Yeah.
No, I think this was like, and Cole said it too. He had a documentary that came out around the album, and he was talking about how, you know, he's been toying with this whole idea of retiring, right? So like, he has these 2 albums lined up, right, with Offseason, and then his final album to be called The Fall Off. You know what I'm saying? So like, he has this whole plan of how he wants to go out of the game, and like with this album, he was like, man, have I really taken my craft to the maximum extent that it could go to? Like, do I feel confident? Like, yo, there was a time that I was rapping like, man, just like never before. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I definitely feel like he got that point across. And then, yeah, I mean, just like rapping wise, I think this is his best album thus far. You know what I'm saying? Because like he's just rapping different on this one.
I love he still has the storytelling aspect of it, but he's just got the bars too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like we can tell a story that's not literally just talking your ear off, and you're like, yo, this dude is dropping fucking bars and metaphors and still telling a story. That shit is.
I think, Matt, you want to say a few words before you log off, man?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I haven't spoken much, but like, at least this is helping me getting off my comfort zone and like, learning a lot. Man,
there you go, man. No,
Yeah,
we
we
appreciate you having you on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying. If you want to let the people know something, I know you're Captain Kangen out here. You can see that in all the photos that we have from the outside show. You know, he's the one with the
all about helping others.
He the plug with the cleanest water.
As usual.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt's the people's champ. I still ain't forgot that.
Yes, sir.
Always and forever.
And constantly growing. Even if there are certain Chicago sports teams I don't feel comfy, I still don't feel comfy following.
Putting that Kangen stamp on. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, it's still Chicago. I prefer if the Cubs win, but if the Sox win, it's still Chicago. It's still.
That's exactly my point.
Fuck all that. Don't.
He says, stick to your side, man. Don't come over here.
Hey, I'm all Chicago, bro.
I still love you, Matt. Though you can love us. I'm not rocking with that at all, cuz.
Don't worry, man. I'm coming for you when I get that Kangen water machine. Don't worry.
Y'all got
I need some samples, bro.
All Chicago sports athletes should have one too. On top of that, my dream.
Yeah.
I need some samples out you, Matt. What's up with some samples?
See, that's what I said. I want some samples too, cuz like I just don't want to jump in the deep water without knowing how.
Where you gonna be shitty?
Edwin and Isaiah, we can all hook you up with it.
Yeah, Edwin.
Say less.
Need a gallon.
As a person who sampled the water,
I'm the one who like spearheaded all of this because I flooded all of you guys.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate that because I drink a lot of water. And I like to consider myself health conscious, but the fact that there's a way to get the most precise bottle of water or a cup of water for that sense, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm gonna eventually hit you up for that machine for sure.
I drink one of these a day, baby. 64.
There it goes.
Hey.
This is my fountain of youth. And
Hey,
I
man.
we gone.
Man.
We gone.
Attached to my bathroom faucet at the moment only because, well, already knows about this, but my house is currently being under construction. I get to show you pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. I'm definitely needing a fucking gallon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's in the middle of here is like it's my current kitchen right now.
Oh yeah, that thing is
With
good.
an island gonna be built.
You doing that shit yourself? I know you got a team.
My sister is the one who arranged this. I got dragged in.
Fair enough.
Let me know, hey, if your contractors end up, not working out, man.
It's going to look nice and modernized.
I got extra set of hands for you, Matt. You know, if ever you need them.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you again, Matt. Keep doing the good work and spreading that Kangen water across the world, bro. We'll see you tune in, you know what I'm saying, next year.
Also, for the record, inspiration is my favorite word.
Oh, I know.
Waters of inspiration.
Matt, yeah, Waters of Inspiration on Instagram. He, he'll show you what he's all about on there.
Yeah. Thanks,
All right, sir. No
Take care,
problem,
bro.
sir. Thank you again, man.
Take care, my boy.
Hey, guys.
Take care. Bye.
So about that J. Cole album,
man, let's go. What you
So
think, Alex?
I wanted to bring this up, and this is for y'all that might have been aware. Remember back when the BLM movement during quarantine, all that stuff picked up. Remember how folks turned on J. Cole because he didn't have like a quote unquote plan of attack,
right?
As far as for like how the BLM movement should have went.
Yeah,
Right.
no name attacked him. She dissed him in
Oh
a song.
yeah. I do recall that. Yeah.
Sidebar. No name has some demons that she has to fight herself because as someone that found her when listening to Chicago artists like Chance and Vince and a lot of folks like that, I felt like she had the bars and she had the musical talent that she really could have been successful. But I also want to give her props. As a Black artist, she was very pro-Black, and she made a statement saying that she doesn't, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't know specifics. She made a statement saying that she's tired of performing in front of white people.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Because her music is pro-Black. I want to give her a shout out personally because I feel like her bars are always on point. I love her projects. I love her music. It's very soulful. It's very like you can listen to it.
It's a lot of substance. A lot of substance in her music for sure.
Very much so.
I'm not hip to no name, man. Like I've heard the name if you come up in a few different conversations, but I've never actually checked out the music, so I'll definitely check it out.
Her collabs with like Mick Jenkins and stuff like
Mick
them
Jenkins,
collabs,
yes.
They go crazy for sure.
That's my favorite Chicago artist, personally.
Alex put me on Mick Jenkins, and he put me on Gambino, which he fucking fell off on. So I'm not gonna
never fell off on. I still listen to him religiously. I just don't listen to him like I did when I was listening to Kanye. That's the big difference.
I digress.
But no, like the reason why I brought it up was because I kind of wanted more from him lyrically because of the fact that people turned on him saying that like you're not the leader that we expected you to be. And this might segue to the next topic when Isaiah comes back, is the fact that like us as a culture, as a culture as far as for Black culture, we rely so much, I would say more American culture. We rely so much on our celebrities to pave the way for us that people don't really have their own opinions as far as for how they feel that life should be. And when J. Cole, like when the Black Lives Matter movement came down and everyone was like hyper aware of like the social injustice that people of color experience, and people turned on J. Cole because he didn't have a plan of attack, and they turned on J. Cole and they turned on Kendrick Lamar as well, because like they expect that these people should be like the Martin Luther King and the Malcolm X.
That's
unfair, bro. Like, how do you? Go ahead, Bruce.
No, I was just gonna say that's literally not their job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we can't be turning to them to change the world. Like they are here to entertain and put out art. You feel me?
Right.
Like that is not their job.
Hey, and although they care about those topics and they talk about those topics on their platforms, which may be their albums or whatnot, like that does not mean like in the height of a movement that you go ahead and attack this person. Because I know how Cole responded to that shit. He was like, "Yo, I'm just not informed enough to even make a wise statement," So like, would you rather have me out here like talking some bullshit that I know nothing about? And he doesn't come off as that individual anyway. He's more like calm, calculated, and really says something that'll have an impact when he says it, So I don't know. I don't give him too much slack for that.
No, the reason that the general public look up to the celebrities like that to say some shit is because they have the loudest voices. But like I said, it's just because you're a celebrity don't mean you gotta listen to every fucking thing. Like you said, you don't have to just jump into shit without knowing what the fuck you're jumping into. If you don't know what you talk about, don't talk about it. That's what I believe. I'm not gonna sit here and to act like, you know what I'm saying? Of course you want to be informed, but it's like you got to understand that these motherfuckers breathe air and shit just like we do and take pisses and go to the store. Like, they're fucking human beings. So, like, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Just because they got a lot of money, some are insensitive. I'm not saying celebrities are great, but celebrities like Cole and the ones that you know that are real that actually give a fuck about people because they don't want to jump in on something. It's obviously because they know what the fuck they're thinking about and they don't want to just be fucking haphazardly jumping into shit. So,
right.
Celebrities
Yeah, I mean,
and like, I don't even talk about all that shit personally, and I'm nowhere near these guys' levels, so I can understand it just from a personal level of how I operate.
yeah. No, and I think, I mean, in the actions, it shows more, right? Like, you got like a person like Cole, he doesn't go ahead and glorify, and he gets written for this too, right? Like, oh, he dresses like a bum or this and that. Like, well, what would you rather do? Him go ahead and flex with the newest Fendi belt, the Gucci belt? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually like, he's showcasing different values and different morals and ethics that, because he knows he has a platform and because he knows some form of worship will come along with it. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna just fall back and show you that, like, it's cool to be just regular. It's cool to just be caring about your family, about, you know what I'm saying, like regular everyday shit, the real important shit, and not the fake materialistic, you know, bullshit that we do glorify.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like artists, like real lyricists, like J. Cole, Kendrick, in my opinion, they're the modern age, quote unquote, Negro spirituals. Like, they make music that's for the soul. They make music to get you through whatever hardships that you're going through at that time. And that's one of the reasons why, not to throw him in here, but that's one of the reasons why I really love Kanye, is because his music came out during periods of times in my life where, like, I really needed to hear what he needed to say. Like, when, like, and to go back to Kendrick and J. Cole, you, like, us as people of color, especially in the Western world, we're born with a stigma stamped on us as far as for how we should act, how we should be. And the biggest issue is the fact that that stigma diverges. It's, as a person of color, I want to be this way. But as a person of color living in the Western world, I'm supposed to live this way. And their music gives us substance as far as for how to continue our day, how to live our life, maybe just to give us that extra as far as for, I feel represented in this world that feels that I should conform, or that feels that I am lesser than. And so when we hear music that's empowering to us as a culture, and not even just Black culture, just culture of color, because anyone that feels oppressed or suppressed in whatever the culture is,
I call it urban culture.
Yes, can resonate with that music, can feel their heart beating with that shit. You know what I mean? And so the reason why I give respect to these types of artists is because that they allow us to express ourselves in a way that is against the cultural norm as far as act. That's why, like, Kendrick Lamar's last, what was it, the BET Awards, where Dave Chappelle's like low key, like, yo, like, media, like, the networks are letting this performance happen. Do they know what he's actually saying? Like, it's cryptic in a way that where people of color who actually feel oppressed can feel empowered to continue on about their day, can feel empowered knowing that their future and their lives isn't what their ancestors and their parents felt. Like, if someone really comes and tries to cross us, like, no, we're more educated than what we were. We're not where our grandparents were, where they'll be like, just put your head down, just continue going on, like, this is just how it is. No, it's 2021.
I actually
aren't going to continue to harass us. These politicians aren't going to continue to abuse us. These media outlets aren't going to continue to stigmatize us. Like, we are who we are, and we could be unapologetic because we know who we are. And despite the world that we live in, we know that our future is bright. We know that our future is going to be better our kids' future is going to be better than what ours is because of what the systematic oppression has created that makes people feel that they can't fly. As far as for like Kendrick Lamar and To Pimp a Butterfly, you ain't about to cut me off. You ain't about to stunt my growth. You ain't about to stunt my kids' growth because we know who we are in our core. And so that's why I feel like J. Cole, Kendrick, even Kanye, because they make music for those to feel empowered. And that's what I feel that people need to recognize. And to go into our next topic, people need to realize that these people are human too. And that though that they make music to empower us, they aren't our leaders in the fields that they need to be. So like we still need our politicians, we still need our leaders in our local communities. And I'll just leave it at that and go into the next.
Yeah, but to your point, we need some of these public officials who. One of the things that it really gets under my skin, for some reason, the public has it in our minds that any of these people are like more important than us for some reason. And these people are our employees. It doesn't matter if you're talking about police officers or aldermen, any of these, you hold public office. All right, my tax dollars pay your salary. You work for we the people. Now, when it comes to these celebrities, especially in the realm of entertainment, when we get into athletes and actors and rappers, stuff like that, when it comes to actors in specific or entertainers in specific, we have to be aware that although a lot of these people are very talented and could be, really good people, these also are some of the people with the lowest moral quality. They're willing to do whatever to succeed. And when people are idolizing these fucking people, just like you said, people got all upset when they felt like J. Cole should have been saying more and this, that, and the third. The whole thing about that is, one, that's not his fucking job. Stop looking to entertainers to be anything other than that. And then two, there are actual people out here putting in work, boots on the ground, and nobody pays attention to them because their social media ain't popping. Charlemagne, he always says it today with cancel culture. If cancel culture was around in the 60s, Malcolm Little would have never been given the chance to be Malcolm X. If cancel culture was around back when Jesus was around, right? If you subscribe to that, you gotta think Jesus took L after L. He used to hang out with thugs and criminals and whores and shit like that. They would have never given Jesus the opportunity to grow into the man that he grew into. But at the same time, while we're so willing to cancel people in society and shit on people in society, the same society that does that worships these celebrities and expects them to be you want to make things out in your head. These people are what you believe them to be. Their public personas are who they are. And it's not true. It's just not true. For all these fucking years, Ellen DeGeneres been treating people on her show like fucking shit.
Employees.
Employees. She got a new show. I thought she was canceling the one that she currently got.
She got 3 shows, bro.
I heard she got a new show.
She got a game show. She got a talk show. She got some other shit.
And I don't watch none of them shits.
Nah.
I don't think Ellen DeGeneres is funny. I don't think that there's any one of you that could convince me that Ellen DeGeneres is funny.
I can convince myself.
I don't know who she's related to, that she's up so high in talk show world or whatever. But
I think she was just the first out female lesbian, and she was canceled before, and so she came back once the world became more progressive.
Yeah, but did she get canceled because she was a lesbian, or did she get canceled because she wasn't fucking funny?
She got canceled primarily because she was a lesbian. She had opportunities, but the world was like, no, you openly gay? No, we can't have that. And so she ended up having no shows, and obviously because I just seen documentaries, She had no shows, and then she ended up getting an
Ellen
opportunity like 10 years after. 10 years after like her first stand-up.
Hey, you missed the important question.
What were you doing that led you to watch a Ellen DeGeneres documentary?
I'm very about I'm about progressive.
Yeah, I had beer in my mouth, bro. I didn't want to spit it out.
So yeah, because someone's gay or whatever, I don't care. Like I'll see the journey.
No,
because
it has nothing to do with her being gay.
Look,
I don't give a fuck about Ellen DeGeneres.
I know some niggas who be watching Wendy, bro, on the real. Like,
It's so funny though, because Isaiah, I was with you 100%. I'm like, wait, what? How do you know all this?
I just know. I just know.
Look, I got my own opinions about Wendy Williams.
nah, you know how many niggas in the county get up every day and watch Wendy?
Yeah, when you're in the
A
county.
lot of them. But they
Daytime
you can
TV,
watch a lot of
of course
shit
you
though. You can watch a lot of shit. They choose Wendy.
Hey, look, I don't have any opinions about them niggas in county watching what they watch, because I heard what they be doing in there, and I don't want no part of it. I don't want no smoke.
I want no smoke.
I am good around here. But so I'm going to
I think you muted, Alex.
yeah. So yeah, Alex is muted. So I'm going to go ahead and before we go to our next topic, I did just because you guys were talking about J. Cole. Now I'm only gonna play one of these. How long are these videos? This one's 2 minutes. Now, so one of them's a little bit too long. Terrell, I think it's the one you sent, but that one's older anyway. They got a brand new one. So I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this joint real quick.
He said, Jermain?
Yeah, because it's like 4+ minutes. So I'm not gonna play yours. I'm gonna play the shorter one. Yeah, boom. Y'all can see it? No,
yep.
Wrong one. Damn, did I play the wrong one?
That one.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah, I was definitely about to play the wrong one. All right.
I shared the latest one.
Yeah, I got them both pulled up. I just had them both pulled up, so I clicked on the wrong one. This one.
Yeah.
All right.
Notice the dress shoe.
So this is not our content. We don't claim it to be our content. This is content by some really dope creatives. RDC World 1. Go
Supreme
follow
Dream
them.
1.
Turn on notifications for them. Go check these cats out. These motherfuckers are hilarious, especially if you are anything sort of an urban nerd. If you like anime and rap, you're gonna love these guys.
Facts.
Like we can maybe stop world hunger, find ways to stop killing. What?
You know that new J. Cole just dropped, right?
Duh, nigga. Anyway, we can find ways to stop world
No,
hunger.
I'm just saying, how'd you like it?
You mean how'd I love it, nigga? What are you talking about? It's a classic.
How's it a classic? It just came out. What?
Yeah, this nigga's stupid. What are you talking about? Did you J. Cole?
Yeah.
Jermaine.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
You talking about the one that just said I could put an M on your head? Now you Luigi, brother? Him?
Yeah, yes, him.
The real is back. The Ville is back. 95 South on the off season. J. Cole.
Yes.
Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. What are you talking about? Look at this nigga. He got his life together. I got my life together. What are you talking about? That's how it's a classic. Nigga got niggas really thinking and moving. Nigga, that's how it's a classic. You must be one of them trolls, huh? He a troll. You one of them J. Cole boring. J. Cole too old. I mean, yes, the nigga is 36, but so is LeBron, and he's still hooping. He's still the best player. And ain't Drake like 34? Yeah, about to win Artist of the Decade. Maybe the older niggas is just better than the young niggas. I don't know. But I know I'm tired of these rappers saying, look, all my niggas shoot like Steph. Like, is that a bar?
I guess.
I mean, how many times have they said that shit? Look, you can go, nigga, because this nigga finna make me mad. He is one of them trolls for sure. But look, don't be coming over here questioning J. Cole shit, talking about, oh, well, how is it a classic? It just came out. Nigga, listen to it. Then go to sleep, wake up, listen to it again, nigga. It's a classic. I ain't gonna say it again. It's a classic. I'm not a classic. Look, I don't know what else you talking about. But go listen to that one more time. All 12 songs. Look, Hunger on the Hillside, 95 South. Come on now, stop playing. And how a little baby came on there sliding. 21 Savage came on there sliding. Can 21 Savage even slide? Like, how is he sliding on J. Cole level like that? Is that a new duo or something? Huh?
I don't know.
Me either. That's what I'm saying. I don't know either. Little baby slide. Like, come on, but look, hey, look, my life together. I ain't got no time to argue with y'all. I already know how niggas be on the internet. Young boy better than here's to the rock.
This nigga is fucking hilarious, bro.
He is a fool for sure.
Like,
I just wanted to end the J. Cole stuff there with that, but Terrell, like you were saying about RDC World.
No, dude is fucking funny as shit, bro.
So before Alex, I know Alex got to get out of here soon. Henry, this is an area where maybe you and Gucci and Bruce can have a little bit more input than me, because I don't know nothing about it. So what's this situation where now the playoffs have changed and it's not playoffs anymore? It's play in. I don't know.
That's a play-in tournament. So, this NBA season been condensed down to 70 games in a shorter amount of time, pretty much. So, what they added another element to the playoffs was they pretty much give 2 extra teams from each conference a chance to make it into the main playoffs. So
there's 2 wild cards.
So 2 wild cards, so to say. So the winner of each team advance. They become the 7th and 8th seed, and they move on into the playoffs. So
the 10 seed can make the playoff basically through this.
The 10 seed can make the play-in tournament. So yeah, they can eventually, if they win, make the playoffs and be in there.
So the 10th seed wins every play-in tournament game, they get into the playoffs.
So if you lose a play-in tournament game, you play the loser of the other game, and it's just to decide some seeding.
Wow.
So the one that wins, that continually wins, gets the 7th spot, and the one that wins the loser bracket gets the 8th spot.
Nah, I think the one that the one that wins the loser bracket get that last slot.
Isn't there a 10th seed in the play-in tournament now? What I'm trying to get down to is like, so there's a play-in tournament, right? Boom, play-in tournament. I've seen a 10th seed in the play-in tournament, and if that 10th seed beat everybody, they can essentially just jump to the 8th seed.
That's what they become when they enter the main playoffs at that point, the 8th seed.
So that's exactly. So okay, I get it.
Yeah, because what happens at the end of every season is you got all these different teams that could have been in the playoffs with these close records. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be some games, some teams that be like out of the playoffs by half a game or a game or some shit. Like the Bulls barely missed the play-in tournament this year. But that's just
11 seed, right?
But yeah, I really just look at it as
we would have got that shit.
I really look at it as another way for them to just make more money off of these players. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all it is.
Facts.
So
marketing scheme.
Bruce, as probably the biggest NBA fan, since I don't know if Henry got something going on. He's backstage right now, but I don't see him, so I don't know what's going on. So how do you feel about this? Do you think it's necessary? Do you think it really plays any role?
This shit is totally unnecessary. I was watching the game yesterday. I think it was the Washington Wizards, or the day before yesterday, it was the Wizards playing somebody. You know how many niggas got hurt in that game? Like in the second half of that game, you know how many motherfuckers got hurt, bro? Like at least 3 motherfuckers on one team. It's like this is one extra unnecessary game that they didn't need. Like if they season over, let them go home, bro. Like that these niggas gotta,
I see possibly. I'm gonna do devil's advocate and say, well, I mean, if it was a regular 82 game season, they'd still be playing hard though. So I understand the games being taken away, but injuries are a part of the fucking game. You can't say just because they play in tournaments that they're gonna be getting injured. You getting injured because you're playing hard. Derrick Rose had a lot of wear and tear, and it just caught up with him. You know what I'm saying? So
the Knicks still made the playoffs though.
But it's so the play-in tournament is a win and go home situation.
Yeah,
like
one game.
These niggas is playing on another level. They're playing all out. Like for some of them, this is their NBA career on the line. Okay. This is their career. Like
sure, but it's like the same thing can go like when it comes to the end of the season, the last 10 games. You got to pay.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Even more games you got to play hard because you're at that teetering part. Instead of one game, you got to play hard. You got to play hard as fuck for like 10 games now. So I could say the 82 game season at this point in the season would be harder than a play-in tournament.
So you ran cross country a little bit. You understand
Two years.
You understand like marathon and pacing. You understand like pacing, right? So that's you got to understand that as an athlete, you know you got 10 games left. And yo, man, you're going to pace them 10 games out. If you got one game left, you're going to leave it out there on the floor. You feel me? So them niggas just going extra hard and they just getting hurt, bro. You feel me?
No, I feel you. Like I said, I want to play devil's advocate to give the other side of the story because there is another side of the story. But I do agree with you saying like that it's an added layer, especially because they knew that it was only 70 games and then the play-in tournament. Like, yo, I gotta go fucking crazy. But I get it. But I still stand with what I said though.
But
I understand that.
Devil's advocate though. This is completely new. And the only reason why, in my opinion, why this is even a thing is because last year during COVID, during quarantine, everybody, athletes, the American people, the people of the world are paying attention to the actual oppressive BS that's going on in the world. No one was paying. I feel like the general consensus during quarantine last year, no one cared about NFL playoffs.
True.
No one cared about the NBA playoffs because we're worrying about Black Lives Matter. We're worrying about,
I would say, as hard
like sex trafficking. We're worried about like real issues. And so the fact that they changed this format in order to increase ratings, because like the Wizards, you have to play in order to qualify for the playoffs. While before, anyone in the top 8 played the 7-game series.
Next, you're right. No, you're right.
Standard.
No, that's right. That's right. You understand, that's what I was getting at when I was saying, like, so the 10 seed can essentially play in this play-in tournament and get the 8 seed just by 1-game elimination games, and that's why I'm like, oh, okay, so that's like wild. And then it's like, is that fair? I mean, I don't know.
That's a real wild card for sure.
I just feel like this. I see it from 2 aspects. On a marketing aspect, it's great because I get to see my team who might not qualify actually have a chance of actually qualifying for the playoffs. Yeah. And anyone that plays sports knows if you're in a playoff, the season starts over. Like, it is. Regardless if you had a sub 50% season or not, you're in the playoffs. You have a chance of beating that team that was number 1 seed. Like the Bucks already know, which is why they don't care about being number 1 seed.
I mean, or that team.
As an athlete, I think it's BS because you're making me work for something that for decades has already been a standard. Like if I qualify as an A seed, I made it in the playoffs. I'm ready to play the number 1 seed, try and dethrone them, and qualify for that conference final, that final spot. And so I understand LeBron when he was upset because it's kind of BS because he knows that it's a marketing scheme in order to get people to watch the playoffs. That's all it's about. But the fact that someone who's a 10th seed has a chance of getting in the playoffs, that's just another week, another day of those viewers watching the playoffs. So, in my opinion, I feel like it should have just stuck to the top 8 per division, per conference, or whatever it is, qualifies. But I understand that Silva wants to make sure that they maximize their money because it's all about the network deals. It's all about making sure that those viewers are coming in, are watching those games, and everyone makes money. But as an athlete and as a former athlete, I thought it was BS, the fact that they were being able to exploit their athletes for profit and having them to go through extra loops in order to qualify for the playoffs. But that's just my personal opinion, summarized.
Okay, so if anybody else has anything on that, if not, we're going to move on. We got a couple of topics that we can hit real quick. This next one, Gucci is backstage, but he must be doing something. The Stop Asian Hate bill passes. I'm going to go ahead and screen share so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I don't have a ton of opinions on this, but I do have one specific opinion. And what I think is interesting is that when Obama was running for office or when Kamala Harris is running, and they go on these platforms like The Breakfast Club, and they always get asked, what are you going to do for Black people specifically? And one of the responses is always, well, I'm not in leadership of any one race. I'm in leadership of the American people. I'm not the president of Black people. I'm the president of America, or United States, rather. And it's funny that they say that they can't identify a racial group to do things for them, but they don't have an issue with it if the specific minority is, maybe a part of the LGBTQ, community, or, the anti-Asian bill, hate crime bill passes, but lynching still isn't even or maybe Trump did it. Maybe Trump made lynching a federal hate crime. But so David, have you seen this bill? I can read a little bit about it.
I haven't seen it. I did not see it until it was posted up in the group chat, and I thought I laughed about it a little bit because I was like, the way they worded it, that it's a COVID-19 protection thing. I'm like, wait, what?
I'll read it, David. I'll read it. So, U.S. President Joe Biden signed into law on Thursday a bill that targets Asian hate crimes, which spiked dramatically across the country during the coronavirus pandemic. I understand that they're saying that. I'm just not seeing it. That doesn't mean that it's not happening. I'm just not seeing it. The COVID-19 Hate Crime Act expands access to resources for anyone reporting anti-Asian hate crimes and gives victims access to multiple languages for help. It also orders the U.S. Department to designate a point person who will handle the review of hate crimes related to COVID-19. How would they know if a hate crime was related to COVID?
Wait, what?
That makes no sense.
It's just all going to be labeled that way.
Right.
That's why I was wondering why it was labeled like that.
No, yeah, are they?
Wait, here it goes. After we figured it out, got to the bottom of it immediately. And the act doles out grant money for state and local governments to try to prevent Asian hate
there it is.
Respond to them more urgently. Okay, so as long as the states label them as a COVID-related hate crime, now there's going to be a financial incentive. Just like how nobody died of COVID, nobody died of the flu or pneumonia last year. Everybody died of COVID because that's where the government was releasing money. So this is essentially just the next step to that in my eyes. Maybe I'm being insensitive, David. You as the resident Asian, can you tell us whether I'm being insensitive or not?
Oh my God, bro. I was just thinking, I'm like, it's like the nickname that I've been trying to get away from. You know what I'm saying? It's like people have been calling me Coop for years, and it's just like it didn't hit me until a lot of my family members, like it hit them in some type of way because they have a bigger Asian community of friends. You know what I'm saying? Like they're surrounded by a lot of Asians, like of peers of their ethnicity, of Laos or Vietnamese or Cambodians or Cuban, Thailand, or Chinese, Japanese, you know what I'm saying, Korean. Me, I'm in a melting pot. I get a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's pretty much most of our experiences here.
Exactly. So I didn't feel what my cousins were feeling, when my nicknames like yo Goop, yo, you know what I'm saying, this and that, and they're just like, they pulled me away and had this little talk with me and stuff like that.
For the listeners, you were given a nickname that you weren't familiar with, but it was a slur.
No, I did not know about it for years. Was oblivious to it.
The first 4 years that I knew you, I had no idea what this man's name was. Terrell, to put it in perspective for you, that would be like you lived in the Philippines or Japan or Laos, and they named you that nigga. That's your nickname, though. That nigga. Like your whole nickname is that nigga. So his nickname was the G racial slur for Asians.
Yeah, it was didn't realize it for years, went along with it, you know what I'm saying? And then
He introduced himself to me as that.
yeah.
Same here. Same
Because
here.
I was
Hey,
because
right,
I was
I'm a little out of touch. Can you write what's the slur?
Yeah, I got you.
because that's
Shit. Well, okay, I get it now. Wow. Yeah,
it's been like it was like that for years, and then I just went with it because that's how I was so oblivious about it for years that I got so adapted to the nickname, that's how I introduced myself. But
that's an interesting fucking mind twist right there.
It is, you know what I'm saying? Like until it hit and I know it shouldn't have hit my family for them to tell me something like that. Like I should have realized it. But like I said, I have a friend that's in a big melting pot of different race. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't hang around, like my cousins. A lot of them hang around a lot of Asian people. A lot of them don't.
Right.
And that's why I've been changing for years. And with this whole bill and the way I'm reading it, it's just like it's cool, but then it's just like, wait a minute, it you know what I'm saying? Like, so what do I go stand outside, see if someone's gonna be COVID racist 19 to me and I'm gonna get paid? Is that what they're saying?
Well, look, how about this? If we can figure out a way. All right, so Terrell, you are the video guy. David, you are the Asian guy.
Right.
Okay. If because it's safest, he's white. If I wears like a ski mask or something, I mean, worst case scenario, they find out it was a hoax or whatever. Like they're just
okay.
Because you're white, right? I wears a ski mask, or like y'all been seeing them blackface masks they got, like where you'll look like a for real black person. Like,
oh my God, what?
Have you not seen that shit?
They were on that one movie. What's it called?
Skin suit.
Fucking goddamn, Good Time. You ever seen Good Time? That's a Robert Pattinson movie. Good Time. It's fucking crazy.
Never even heard of it, but let me go ahead and show y'all this so that my little scenario makes a little bit more sense. So what we would do is we would basically pull a Juicy Smouye, and instead of hiring Nigerians, we're just gonna have I do it, and then Gucci, you'll break us off a little bit of the cash that you get. So this is not a black person.
I know. Wow, damn, for real, bro.
Why they got them big ass lips and them big ass
Look at his nose, bro.
They're bogus. They're bogus as fuck, bro. They have to use it like that, bro. They're bogus.
Looking weird. But I can understand why, so they can cover it up. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Kim Jong-un kind of man.
Terrell, what are you saying?
Type in Good Time after black person mask, and then you'll see that the images. Just type in Good Time after that. Oh no, the movie? No, I guess the movie's not that popular.
Yeah, I never heard of it either, so I'm gonna assume you made it up.
Okay, cool. But when you watch it, you're gonna be like, damn, that movie's awesome.
Watching random movies with the Twilight nigga. So look, guys, we're gonna get off of the Stop Asian Hate thing, but like Gucci, if you guys are down to do this short film with
bro, it's gonna be
I'm not
hilarious.
down.
Come on, we won't put you in the credits, bro. It's cool. We won't put you in the credits. We're just trying to get Gucci some money here for all this Asian hate. All right, guys. So one more quick one before we actually really get into the Joe Budden situation.
Yeah, I wanted to hear about that. But yeah, the whole.
So have you guys heard the people who are fully vaccinated no longer need to wear a mask?
What state is that?
That's like
That's
Rachel Maddow.
Federal?
Let's look it up. Let's see.
I believe it is on a federal level, but I think
I wasn't sure what state it was.
I think state mandates still stand, but like on the federal level, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like enforced.
Yeah. So I mean, you still gotta go and wear a mask in Uber.
All right, so according to the CDC, fully vaccinated people can resume activities without wearing a mask or physically distancing, except where required by federal, state, local, tribal, or territorial laws, rules, and regulations, including local business and workplace guidance.
So basically, you have to wear a mask. It's like carrying a gun. Like you can carry it on your own boat, you carry that, but you can't carry here.
Right. So I guess it depends on from what I'm hearing, Florida is completely open. Like it's lit in Florida from the way that I hear it.
Yeah.
Y'all trying to go to Florida, bro?
Man,
I got some family friends who just came back from Florida, and they're like, man, you look that crazy even trying to wear a mask down there.
Yeah, I heard they look at people who are wearing masks like how other people look at people who are not.
Yeah.
Completely. It's a Twilight Zone down there. I'm trying to go.
Yeah, it is. It was sort of like that. We went towards the end of April and went to Disney World, but that was mask mandated. Every theme park or that kind of thing was mask mandated.
Yeah.
But like certain other places, like people were just riding around with no mask. There was clubs,
like the beach and shit.
Yeah, the beaches. Like I've seen like a couple of my guys that went there. The whole club it was just like how pre-COVID.
I'm literally trying to go to Florida, bro. Like amongst other places, but I'm trying to see what the hype is about.
Well, down there,
Florida.
The Bears are playing Tampa or October 20-something.
True.
If I'm not mistaken.
Them tickets gonna be sky high, boy.
All right, so
I'm
guys,
looking right now, then, bro.
are you guys comfortable masking or not masking it? Do you guys drive in the car with a mask on?
I definitely do that. Like that's a must for me.
I only mask when I
by yourself. Solo?
I'm kidding, bro. No, look, I
completely understood your sarcasm, brother.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's crazy to see that shit, but then you're like, I start thinking like, do they know something I don't know, or like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Like, am I laughing for no reason?
I'm not wearing no mask outside. That's one thing. Like, and if need be, I'll distance myself from 6 feet or whatnot, but
y'all seen that video of that teacher going in on that student who was fully vaccinated?
I saw that. That was just like that was like not even like there was literally no reasoning. There was like, yo, that lady is just one of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like there's literally like nothing that she could say to defend that. Like I'm trying to say, bitch, I'm vaccinated. How am I gonna hurt you? Wait, what is the issue there? Like I don't understand it.
Yes. What is the issue? That's what like Spicasso was saying. His last week, his girl is not vaccinated. Everyone else is 99% is vaccinated, but one. So why does she have to be the one wearing the mask?
Right.
But I get to like, that they might get it again because this thing is what? One is 6 months, one is 3 months, or something like that. I forgot.
David, based on that, right? Then
right.
Why are you getting it then?
Why am I what?
Why are people getting it if you still have this?
I can't and won't answer that question.
I don't know that anybody here has the answers to that question.
Like the thing is, like I would say this. I remember, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had COVID. I've never tested positive for COVID, but
me neither.
I took in over at least 50 tests.
Damn. You gotta do it every time you go on set.
Yeah. Especially when I became like staff for this last month. But January, I tell the story all the time. January of like when it turned from 2019 to 2020, the first 3 days or the first 5 days, I would say, for that January, I remember I was just like fucking bedridden right behind me, just like what the fuck? Like I'm sick. And then I remember drinking my favorite energy drink, couldn't taste it. I remember I'm like, yo, I feel like there's pressure in my face, like it's about to pop. I'm like, bro, I'm fucking sick as shit right now, but I always ride it out. Then a couple days go by, I feel fine, and shit comes back. And then a couple months later, I start hearing about COVID. And then I'm like, damn, what the fuck is this? Then I started looking at the symptoms. I'm like, bro, that was literally every fucking thing that I experienced.
I swear I was in the same boat, bro. I was in the same boat.
I've never tested positive for COVID ever, but you know,
Yeah, I had the symptoms in like, man, damn near like end of 2019, early 2020.
That's
Like
exactly when I'm pretty sure me, my wife, and my son all had it fresh out the hospital. My son was born.
I didn't think twice of it because like it'll typically happen to me. Like I'll get like a little cold, flu like twice a year. You know what I'm saying? Either going from like hot to cold or cold to hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I just kind of chalked it up to that. I was like, all right, cool. It's just one of my seasonal things. It was a little different, like as far as like the symptoms, but I didn't know, you know. So and then you know, come months later, you're like, oh shit, these are all the symptoms that I just fucking had.
It's literally weird. I'm like, bro, that was like, yo, there so many people had COVID before.
Yeah.
Like I said before, it became like, yo, celebrities were getting it now, and then people are like, oh, now it's like, oh shit, what is this? Once it spreads from the average person to like the bigger people, that's when it becomes a pandemic. I recovered after 5 days, and I took like hella COVID tests after that. Not one has been positive ever. So
I'm gonna share this video real quick so you guys can see how serious this is getting with the people who are overly fearful. I'm gonna show you guys.
I don't care if you're vaccinated, you little dick.
Okay.
I don't want to get sick and die.
Okay.
There's other people you can infect just because you're vaccinated. You know what? You're not a special person around here. You should hear about what he talks about you. You're a jerk.
Talk to me. I don't care how people
You're
talk
a
about
jerk.
me. Okay.
And you need to have for other people in your life.
I do.
You're not a big man on campus. I don't care.
I mean, it's a reaction. Like you gotta kill people with kindness sometimes.
I think a teacher talking to a student like that is wild.
Yeah.
Andrew Scavengers, that English lady at Mather, she was.
Oh yeah.
That's her name.
Oh shit, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I had summer school 1 year for one class, and I remember somebody said she eats babies. And,
bro, I was in my class and she didn't give me. Bro, I remember when I broke my ankle, I was in my class. She didn't give me no love. I'm like, I gotta leave 5 minutes before the bell because the car was crowded. She's like, no. I'm like, well, I'm leaving now anyway. What are you talking about?
I think we had her together. She gave me my first F.
right now.
For real, bro. Yeah, she was rough, bro. She was definitely rough.
She used to be like reading book passages as the bell is ringing and expect you to sit there until she finished the passage and shit. I'm like, nah, like we gotta go.
She kicked me out of her class for like, she told me to throw away some gum or some shit, and I she didn't like the way I threw the gum away. Like I probably did do some like, I don't know, some slick shit or some shit. I don't know I don't remember what it was, but I didn't do nothing overtly disrespectful. So she kicked me out of class for not liking the way I threw my gum
she used to get like real mad over the littlest shit.
She looked just like that lady too.
That's what made me think about it. That's what hit my brain. I'm like, oh shit.
Man, she's like, she was Karen before Karen. You feel me? Like she was original
yeah.
Karen.
She was definitely Karen.
Wow.
Okay, so so whose background is that? That's you. You're gonna have to go in a different room or something, boy.
I don't think that's mine. Oh yeah.
No, that was All right, so obviously we gotta get to this. All right, this is gonna be our last topic for tonight, guys. If you guys haven't yet heard, man, there is trouble a brewing with Joe Budden Podcast Network. Look, man, there's so much shit that goes into this shit because he is facing two gigantic problems right now. One, the show that he built with his co-host Rory and Mal. Cool guys. I mean, you know, they do add to the show. I don't know. They both got unique perspectives. It really created a homey ambiance. They're in dispute with Budden, basically saying that they have a contract that says they get a profit percentage split, and they're saying that every time they're asking to, the only way that they can know whether or not their profits, they're getting the right percentage, is to know what the exact profits are. So they're saying that every time they ask about anything to do with the finances, it's met with pure hostility. So, so the Joe Budden podcast continues to go on. He's just replaced them with two of the guys who used to be behind the camera, and now Rory and Maul are talking about going out on their own, starting their own podcast, which Joe Budden has said he will sue them if they do within a year.
He's retracted that since.
What?
Must not have been in the contract.
No, he took it back. He said some of that shit that he can't, like that first podcast when he was like, saying all that, like, Rory, you're fired, this and that. Like he I think it was a Patreon episode maybe, or I don't remember exactly, but anyway, he was like, he was speaking from a place of emotion, and that, obviously he said, obviously I'm not going to sue them if they go and pursue something, so he did retract that.
So before we get into the second part of his problem, I listened to the full podcast with Rory and Maul explaining their perspective. I'm pretty sure you did. Did anybody else follow any of this?
I was halfway through it, and then I got blotchy for me at the end because I got busy and stuff. But I was listening at the beginning about them, their contracts and their percentage share, and I think I got to the point where they're explaining where Joe was getting crazy with Maul all the time when he just asked a simple question.
Oh, he told Maul something along the lines of Joe Budden podcast deals don't have any. It's none of your business, or something along those lines. And
yeah, and like when he was asking for the numbers, he was just like, they were giving him a problem about it, and then they were mentioning like LeBron James, like he wouldn't go to the owner and be like, where's these numbers when he's making salaries? He don't give a shit. He's making salary. But if he's a percent, if he's a percentage holder and he's he's getting a certain percentage, it would be nice to see all the where all this money is, where what's going in, what's coming out. You know what I'm saying? What are these expenses? Yes, I would like that.
Isn't that how stocks work? You get a specific, like you get a percentage of the profits, right? So if it's a profit split partnership, the way that they're saying that it is, then it sounds like Joe is foul.
Well, he said that like one of the things they had an issue with was that the accounting firm that Joe has in place is
$400,000 mistake, right?
Right. And then also like they felt like, they're getting the numbers in an Excel spreadsheet, and they felt like anybody could just put anything into an Excel spreadsheet, right? Now, I mean, it is facts, but at the same time, it's like Excel is just a format. It's a medium in which you can use for many different things, right? Accounting being one of them. Now, so to me, the way it all sounds is that there's a lot of distrust with since Joe got that Patreon deal, right? Like, because when Joe Budden got that Patreon deal, it was Joe Budden getting that Patreon deal, and Joe Budden being on the board of Patreon or a shareholder, were whatever the specifics of his contract is. And then what Joe actually came to say was like, yeah, well, that's what it was with Spotify too, right? Like, remember they used to be called like I'll name this podcast later, right?
Yeah,
exactly. And then once they went to Spotify, then Spotify was like, well, no, Joe is the draw, and so we want to name the show the Joe Budden Podcast, And I mean, I guess at that point, I would figure they would have a.
Is Joe the only draw?
No,
So I don't think he's the only draw, but I think
when Rory and Maul go off on their own, they're gonna make stats.
They are, and that's where the beef comes into. Is like, all right, Rory and Maul feel like, we were here from day one, and we made this what it is.
I think Maul was technically there from like day 6, but yeah.
Yeah, all right, so cool. But like, when you say day one, it's the notion of like you're not under a Spotify deal, and you're not on. You didn't see the heights before I came on to this.
Right. That's like if I were to get some type of sponsorship for Mobile Minds Network, and then all the people who have played a role, I don't even consider them, like, if it's a bag, I don't even consider, breaking them off a little piece just as, appreciation. Now, that's not what they're saying happened, because they are saying they did get paid something. But at the end of the day, if I'm asking about accounting, or if we got the same type of deal, and I get what could be a multi-million-dollar deal, Mogul Minds Network, it's a multi-million-dollar deal, and then all you're saying is, hey, bro, my percentage is 7%, my percentage is 10%, but I don't know if I got my full 10% from the accountants because, we don't know the full numbers. And then after a month of asking, you just give me some Excel spreadsheet with some numbers on it. That's not really going to do a ton for my confidence. You know what I'm saying? So it seems shady in the way that they worded it. I don't know that that's the specifics of it. We've heard bits and pieces of Joe's side, and Joe is saying he paid them more than what the contract would have gotten them paid. So I guess at this point, it's kind of what happens when they go to court, because if they believe they're owed hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions of dollars, and he's saying that they were overpaid, there's no way to settle this without court, really.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, yeah, it is going to come to that, just because, like, if it's money involved, then yeah. And then from the sounds of it, so whatever their profit percentage split was, I think another problem that Rory and Maul had with it was that, like, expenses would be paid around Joe Budden's network, like new laptops would be bought, or like equipment, whatever, and they're also investing into that, but not being considered as investors of the Joe Budden network. So, like, money is coming out of their splits, their percentages, that they should not be kicking back into the podcast or the network.
Right.
And that's where, like, they're asking for clarity on the accounting, is because, they're like, all right, well, I'm not going to be kicking into person X, Y, and Z getting a fucking laptop because they need one for the network, when the network is not something that I'm legally or contractually obligated to fund,
Right.
I feel that.
So Terrell, have you been following this at all?
I've been following it very, like, lightly. So, like, all I know is that if I were in that situation, I would probably be on the same page as Rory and Maul.
Based on what you know thus far.
Based on what I know is that, like I said, there was no contractual, there wasn't any signing of owning, so there's not that. But it's the fact that it's like, come on, like, y'all spoken word and spoken agreements are pretty strong for respect. So, like, if there's no respect, then whatever.
Right.
So if I was feeling like they were feeling, and from what I know is that they felt slighted and not respected as, as helping build it what it was, then I'd for sure be feeling how they are.
I think, how about you, Gucci?
Here, I got a good example. It's like me saying, hey, bro, you and I made this contract, right? We got this contract percentage. And I'd be like, man, those episodes that you did at Tons, or what's up with that? When I wasn't around at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't around for those episodes at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's proven facts. Like, even like I wasn't around, period. But then I'd be like,
that's to some degree Joe's perspective, then, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's like it's odd the way he's saying it, and I'm like, and then you got Roy and Maul just like saying it all out. Now I'm gonna finish listening to it, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like.
Yeah, but Joe's perspective,
like you said, that $400,000 mistake. That's not like, bro.
That's
like,
a
wait a
lot
minute.
of money.
not small money.
What do you
Yeah.
mean, bro? And I feel that the numbers that they're talking about is in the millies. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there's
Definitely,
you know, like
definitely.
that's why there's talks about this.
It has to be.
You know, but
Joe's
in this,
view on it too is that like he's like, yo, I've been building this for my whole life, you know. So like,
correct. I get that,
even
but
when
then
Rory is like, yo, I've been here since episode 1 or 2, Joe's like, yeah, but that's not day one. Day one is me getting fucked by Def Jam and me getting fucked as an artist, and then me building up my YouTube channel alone with Joe Budden TV prior to any Joe Budden podcast ever existed.
And let me say
Now,
this.
correct.
I
That's
think
just like almost an example that I was making.
network
Yeah.
is literally network is literally his name. It's not like how I have FNO Films and he has Mogul Minds. That's not our name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he actually feels a little bit more attached to it just because this is my fucking name. Like literally, the network is my name. So
right. But yeah, well, that was done with the intention of pushing Joe as the star, right? Like, because
I get that premise. That I understand, and I felt that when Rory was speaking about it, he was very adamant that, you know, yes, he wasn't there from day one, but you know what I'm saying. If it wasn't for them too, the show wouldn't have popped off.
Right. Well, like
But in his case, in his defense, in his case, you know what I'm saying.
And I get these guys' perspectives. I understand why they feel the way that they feel, and goddamn, like I know how I feel getting got for a couple $100. I could not imagine finding out.
Yeah, bro. You know,
finding
like,
out
wait a
last
minute.
minute that somebody stole $400,000 from me.
Like,
I know we all got robbed with that crypto. If you went to crypto,
it's coming back, man. Just stay strong, man. Don't let it go.
I have not. I
good now. I'm good now, bro. Like I just want to put it out there. I was scared, too, but I'm good now.
I did the referral, and that was it. I have not touched it.
I'm good, but I thought it was a little scary for a little minute.
So hold on, guys. That was just side A of the Joe Budden situation, right?
Hey, wait! Before we do move on to that I know where you're about to go. I just want to say that, like, although I
We
think,
didn't get Bruce's opinion either.
yeah,
Yes, I want Bruce's opinion too.
I mean, y'all just pretty much put me up on what's been going on with it, but I do feel like ever since academics called them out, now they want to check into the expenses and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's it.
Have you not been seeing what academics has been doing to them for the last 2 weeks?
Nah.
yeah, he's been going crazy, bro.
Yeah, he has, and he makes it a point to only address them as Ruri, so he won't say Rory,
Yeah.
and Mealy Mal or some shit like that.
He made up these nicknames for him, like, but this has been an ongoing thing too. Like,
So was it him making up nicknames, or was that him ducking the defamation lawsuit?
shit, you could be right. I don't know, but I know, like, I saw the earlier streams, like earlier in the year, maybe even last year, when like the shit really popped off. It was first Rory and academics, and there's a whole history there, and then fucking it stemmed into, you know, like, kind of Maul caught the stray shots, if you will.
Yeah, Maul definitely caught some stray shots, and what's even more interesting about this is because of the type of bravado that they kind of had. They also are on the shit list of brilliant idiots, right? To a certain degree.
Yeah.
Charlemagne tries to take a backseat where he act like he's not shooting shots, and he just lets the people around him shoot shots at them.
Andrew and his podcast, like the Flagrant 2 shit, like they went in on them one day, like that first episode when Rory and Maul came back after like the initial breakup.
Call him daddy.
Call him daddy podcast is back or something like.
I've been watching.
Wow, no way, bro.
They went in on him.
They went in on him.
So I
gotta watch that.
They definitely go in on him. Bruce, look, guys, we get ready to wrap. 5 minutes if everybody can hang on real quick. So go check out the whole Joe Budden situation. Also, in addition to all this contract disputes he's having, Joe Budden started Joe Budden Podcast Network a couple of months back. Right when he kicked it off, the first podcast on the network was a podcast called
See the Thing Is.
With some girls who were they already had a couple of their own successful podcasts, and then they brought one home with semi-new cast.
No, they're all in different like aspects of entertainment. One's a singer, songwriter. One's been on like a show or something. I forget exactly.
I just know Mandy.
Mandy's she is a podcast host of Horrible Decisions, but
horrible with a WH. Horrible.
yeah.
I like it.
So,
I like
yeah,
it.
he put this collective of women together, and
God.
right now,
Just
what
called it.
like it's seeming the hottest for Joe. One of the women who was one of the 3 co-hosts on there comes out and has claims of like sexual assault or verbal assault. You know,
it's
one.
sexual
Is
assault.
that
She
the
said.
Olivia?
You
She
said what?
said sexual assault.
Yeah.
Were you talking
Okay,
about
so-
Olivia?
Olivia Pope, or no? Sorry, that was from a
This
different
guy
show.
talking about some TV show scandal.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, this girl. Yeah.
Oh wait, it wasn't. They didn't like sexually assault her, or they talked about her getting sexually assaulted.
No, Joe was
She
making
was
some
feeling
like innuendos toward her during one of the guest appearances that he.
Hey, some pretty reckless ones.
I'm not gonna lie, and I watched it like as she was referencing time markers in her response video. I went back and like tried to see, and her time markers were on point.
Hey,
Really?
Terrell, she does
I
a
started
20-minute
watching that.
video where she reads off everything that he said and where they made the edits, so
Yep.
that people could go back and listen.
Yeah. And Joe has come out after this came out. Actually, like the podcast that just dropped on Wednesday. It was one of the first things he addresses on there.
I got the first 2 lined up. Now I need to get this one lined up. I'm gonna be up all night, so I need to get
Yeah.
this one.
He pretty much he took ownership of it. You know, he said like,
I saw the ownership video, but I want to see the video she did.
Right.
yeah.
I'll send that to you.
I didn't
or
get to see the
you
whole
can
thing
just
yet.
look it up. It's out there. But look, here's why I think that was a terrible decision on Joe's part.
What, to take ownership of it or what?
Yeah, to
Okay.
take ownership. He definitely did that shit. His
Uh-huh.
opportunity to take ownership was when she quit, and then he went on his podcast with Rory and Mal and literally made jokes about how he talked to Rick Ross, and Rick Ross said he ain't hiring no women because he'd want to fuck them bitches. And then you making jokes like that, and then you actually take ownership after she is accusing you of sexual harassment, which is a crime, and you were doing it in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've taken ownership of that, so you're guilty. So if she decides to civilly sue you, you've already taken accountability. You admit it, you did it. So now you're wrong. And then if the situation with Rory and Mal isn't solved by that time, now you're coming off of a lawsuit where you just got to lay down and take that L, bite that bullet, and pay her what she wants. Now you're going into a situation where even if the wording is funny in your contract, you're about to look guilty. So you're about to pay Rory and Mal too.
Yeah, man, and not just that. Like we just touched on earlier in the podcast, like there's real repercussions that come with just an allegation. You know, so like that Patreon deal could very well be at risk if if certain things are pursued after this.
And for sure, and I just want to clarify what I'm saying. I'm just like, yo, I want to see this shit. Like I don't allegate nobody, but it's like I'm a very curious person, so I want to see some shit. So,
Yeah.
That's why.
All in all, man, like I think what Joe said, that this thing is kind of growing to such extent that he can no longer just manage every position himself, and he cannot be also, like he can't talk to these women the way he's talking to them while being the head person in charge and the person behind the paychecks. Like it just comes off a way, being that person in that power position. Yeah, especially being the power position person, like you gotta be aware of that. I know he comes from that like hip hop era, and where it's like it could be his comedic style or whatnot, but man, you gotta kind of be very careful on how you walk that line.
Not during cancel culture, you can't be doing that shit. I don't know, but I'm sure like you guys understand my perspective as to why I think that it was a mistake for him to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point because he's pretty much admitting guilt.
Absolutely.
Right. and it is really up to her and what she decides to do at this point. You know, if she decides to sue him, it's about to look bad for this man.
Yeah.
So guys, there was a couple topics we wanted to get to tonight. We're gonna have to do a special edition episode. I'm gonna try to get somebody of Jewish descent on the podcast so that we can talk this Israeli-Palestine situation. I think that there's a lot of, we have to tiptoe around this topic for a multitude of reasons. And we want to make sure to do this as professionally and considerate to all parties involved as possible. So we're not going to be able to talk about that specific topic tonight. A few of us got to get out of here. We're gonna come back to cryptocurrency. Be on the lookout next week. We're doing a special edition live stream. The first 45 minutes of the live stream is going to be an interview with Glory kickboxer Troy Trouble Jones. Go check out our previous episode with him. He is fucking a dope guy. His story's great. He has a lot, to talk about from a fighter's perspective. We're gonna do a Q&A after the first 45 minutes. Last 15, 20 minutes or so, we're gonna do a Q&A where we'll allow the different members of the group or anybody who wants to call in and ask them any questions you may have. We didn't get a chance to get to new TV and film. Well, we might just have to start doing these twice a week so they don't have to be as long.
Right.
And then segment them up. But, since we're getting out of here, I'm going to play this little video one last time. Terrell, I don't think you were on when we showed it. Oh, no, wait. Were you on for... Maybe. Was Terrell on for the video?
I think so. We played it a couple times. So
no, we only played it.
That was Vino that missed it.
That was Vino that missed it? Yeah. Okay, all right. So I'm going to play this. Anybody got any closing statements? Side note, everybody, be on the lookout for our new episode dropping this audio, dropping tomorrow, video starting next week, Monday. Instructor Mike, firearms instructor, ex-cop, ex-military. Be on the lookout for that episode. Don't like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. All that stuff helps us out in the algorithms. And check out the moguleminds.net/merch store. Anybody got any closing statements?
Yeah, definitely. As Gucci was saying, we do have the Paint and Sip coming up on the 29th, Bruce.
Yeah, the 29th, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Right here.
Bruce, send us the link again so we can put it in the bio here.
The outside Paint and Sip. It'll be on the patio. It'll be a hopefully a beautiful summer night. You know what I'm saying? Come out. Bruce got some cool things lined up for the people who are going to be in attendance. So definitely going to be a good time. And I know you said we're going to touch on the Palestine thing next week, but I just do want to send my prayers and best wishes to everyone involved in that. They did just at least say that it's a ceasefire. Both sides agreed. So at least the senseless killings can stop for now until they figure out what the fuck they got to figure out. But yeah, just prayers to all the people involved in it.
Facts. All right. Yeah, no, I co-sign that for sure. I'm going to go ahead and play this video. We're going to go ahead and get out of here for anybody who missed it before. This is just a brief little snippet of our Outside comedy show. And the song is done by our host, Ty Riggs. He's going to be streaming from the network tomorrow, some gaming. We're going to start getting some gaming streaming going. Appreciate everybody who joined, everybody who like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for joining the conversation. If you're ever interested in hopping on an episode with us, just click that link and we'll let you in.
Love.
Click that link.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Be safe, y'all. Be safe. Be safe.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, things and things, everybody from the left to right, to up to down, north, south, east, west. I just want to let y'all know it's your boy, YMF, dropping a freestyle for you. Cause she got some cognac and kush. She ain't shaved, so she got a bush. That cooch stinks, so please get a douche. Baby, don't push. shaved, so she got a bush. That cooch stank, so please get a dish. Baby, yeah. I just wanna know your name. Baby, don't play no games. I'm a wildcat, I ain't tame. I don't play these games. Baby, what's your name? Oh, you got a nigga, that nigga is lame. Come and be my dame. When the beach house, we get crazy. We get crazy. Cognac and kush. She ain't shaved, so she got a push. That cooch stank, so please get a douche. I need that cognac and kush.